And we are live from Captain Dick Smith Field here at Lexington, Virginia. It's time for some Generals baseball. It seems like ages since we were last in this ballpark. The last home game for Washington Lee was back on the 6th. It's been 17 days since the Generals played here at Washington and Lee. Now they need a win, and so does their opponent, Eastern Mennonite. Both teams are 0-4 in conference play, and I'm joined along by John Harashinsky. I'm Bonza Tufa, bringing you the coverage of today's game on WLUR All Access. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great right now. I mean, the weather's beautiful right now. Definitely a break from the snow we had on Tuesday and Wednesday, which actually canceled the game that we're supposed to have today. So very happy that it's beautiful weather outside, ready to play the ball game. And yeah, like you said, I'm excited to see this game because both teams are looking for a win. Generals are coming off a 4-game losing streak, and Eastern Mennonites off a 5-game losing streak. So one streak will be broken today, and we'll see which one that is. Which is why
this game is a must-win on both sides. Right now, both teams are tied for last in the ODAC conference. Roanoke, which was ranked number 9, is 5-0 in the ODAC. Randolph-Macon 4-0, Hampton-Sydney 4-0, Virginia Wesleyan 4-0. And the Generals came off a doubleheader loss against Virginia Wesleyan. In the last game of that doubleheader, they were leading 4-1 when Virginia Wesleyan scored 4 in the bottom of the 9th after the Generals scored 2 in the top half. And the Generals gave it away basically at the end, and that's hard to take.
That's really a tough one to swallow, especially with that 4-run buffer. That's not even a safe situation at that point. And so really that's just a little demoralizing at the end.
Well, I had a chance to talk to head coach Ted White about having this week off, and he wasn't really a big fan. You know, some people like to have that week off to recharge and, you know, rest everybody's arms, especially in the bullpen, but Ted didn't quite think of it that way.
You never want to have that many days off. I mean, every now and again, it's a blessing. This would not be one of them. I mean, I think we were kind of getting into a pretty good rhythm, you know, and that's what you want to do in the season. You know, you want to get to a point where everyone kind of understands what it takes for them individually to get day in and day out production. And, you know, we tried to spin it the best we could and let the boys kind of recoup some of their energy, get some stuff in the classroom really taken care of, get ahead in some big issues that they have coming up with midterms and finals. But we're definitely glad everything kind of cleared out and we could play today.
How's the field look?
I think it's fine. I mean, I didn't get to walk it today, but talking with the assistants, they were out here. And then yesterday we were able to get on it a little bit. I don't see any issues with it. There's maybe a little bit of snow up against the wall, but that shouldn't really come into play.
Field looks good, and we're good to go here from Washington and Lee as we're just about set to go with the first pitch. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll give you the starting lineup for Eastern Mennonite and the defense for the Generals. It's going to be Mason Shuffler pitching for Washington and Lee against Tyler Campbell from Eastern Mennonite. Back here at Captain Dick Smith Field, just want to say that this broadcast of Generals Athletics is brought to you in part by the Washington Lee University Store. Owned and operated by W&L, the University Store is located right on campus in Elrod Commons. The store features a wide range of apparel celebrating Washington and Lee, including the Peter Millar Collegiate Collection offering polos and sweaters for your game day style. If you're looking for workout gear, we have a variety of performance apparel from Nike and Under Armour. All proceeds go back to the Washington and Lee community, helping to fund athletic, alumni, and student programs. The store is open 7 days a week. Order online anytime at store.wlu.edu. We're just about set to go. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Eastern Mennonite Royals. Got Jacob Murky leading off from left, Daniel Scott in right, Damon Frazier at short, Brett Lindsay, the cleanup hitter from third base, Justin Parrish, the catcher, Corey Willis, the DH, Adam Marston from first, Jalen Lee in center, and Matt Curry, the second baseman.
The Royals, the left fielder, number 8, Jacob Murky.
On the mound for the Generals is Mason Shuffler, the first-year player. Right-handed pitcher from Lafayette, Louisiana, 6'6", 195. We'll give you the Generals' defense in a moment. First stepping in is Jacob Murky, right-handed hitter, standing almost straight up. Shuffler with the windup in the first pitch at 4:03. It's a strike on the inner half. 0-1 and we're underway. These two teams were supposed to have a home and away series in back-to-back days, but now the away game for the Generals against Eastern Mennonite in Harrisonburg is going to be on the 28th. Next pitch is slapped foul out of play right side.
And Shuffler's coming out of the gate just firing 2 strikes in a row, so off to a good start for this batter.
Jacob Murky, excuse me. His last name is spelled M-E-R-I-C-A, but it's pronounced Murky. He's behind 0-2. The wind and the pitch. Curveball, it bounces to the left side, and it's off the glove of Divin, and it gets by Feely and trickles into left center field, and the leadoff man gets on.
It's a good pitch by Shuffler. Curveball had some nice motion on it. Definitely seemed to throw Murky off a tad.
The right fielder, number 19, Daniel Scott.
And as expected, that's a base hit. Divin had a long run on that ball going to his left, just out of his reach. You got Paul Divin at third, Chadwick Feely at short, Jason Volpicelli at second, Zach Lowenberg at first, Marshall Dyke in left, Ryan Munson in center, Roby Smalley in right, Bryce Burnett catching. So here's the lefty, Daniel Scott. Bench stance slightly open, very wide stance at that. He shows bunt and pops one that falls foul halfway down the first base line. And as you mentioned, John, Shuffler got Murky off balance, but didn't get quite the reward he was looking for.
But you know what, though? He did produce an infield ground ball, and albeit it was tough for Divin to go grab it, it's still what you want as a pitcher. You want to generate those infield ground balls because those eventually will bring you out.
The count is 0-1, small lead for Murky, but he does have speed, being held down by Lowenberg. Shuffler turns and throws to first, and back in sliding is Murky. Daniel Scott batting .233 on the season. 6 RBIs. He's behind 0-1. He shows bunt again, and the pitch is taken just a bit outside. A ball and a strike to Mr. Scott. Daniel is a junior from Monetta, Virginia. Left-handed hitter, throws from the right hand, though. A ball and a strike. Again, bunt shown, fastball outside. 2-1 the count. Scott in a bit of a slump in his last 6 games, batting 1 for 20. Both teams 0-4 in the conference so far. So far in conference play, Scott is 1 for 16. That one hit was a double. Shuffler again throws to first, and back in safely is Murky. The count is 2 balls and a strike to Daniel Scott. Leadoff infield single for Jacob Murky. Divin playing in at third, expecting the bunt. He's in the infield grass. Middle infield and double play depth. Bunt laid down, trickling back towards Shuffler. He has it, turns to throw to second, gets the out there. So the bunt play doesn't work. That's a fielder's choice as Scott goes to first. But the most important thing, the lead runner is out.
That was a good heads-up play by Shuffler there to pick up the ball and look to second first to see if he could get the guy. Very good heads-up play. Really a product of those pitcher fielding practice, PFPs, as they call it.
Scott hitting that ball a little too hard, and it quickly went back to the mound, so Shuffler didn't have to move much, and he had plenty of time to throw out Murky at second. So one away, Scott stands at first, and here's Damon Frazier. Right-handed hitter, slightly open stance, feet fairly close together. Shuffler, a close stance more towards the third base side of the rubber, deals, and the first pitch is hit high and deep to left field. Dyke going back, looking up, she's gone. And just like that, the Royals jump ahead 2-0 as Damon Frazier goes long ball, his third home run of the season.
That was one of those swings where it came right off the bat. You could tell it was going pretty deep into left field. And Dyke picked it up real fast, started turning back towards the fence, and before you know it, just right over.
Now batting the third base.
Now here's Brett Lindsay after the 2-run homer by Damon Frazier. I was just going to mention how incredible Damon is. He's a two-way player, and before I had a chance to do it, he showed it by hitting that 2-run home run. So here's Brett Lindsay now with nobody on. Royals up 2-0 here in the top of the first. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner.
And Shuffler firing back with a strike after that home run. He's got to do a good job of trying to keep that home run out of his head and just focus on the next batter. There's nothing you can do about the home run now.
And it doesn't get easier with Lindsay at the plate. Next pitch again on the outside corner, so 2 straight pitches right on that outer half, and the count is 0-2 to Lindsay. And once again, Shuffler gets ahead on his man. Divin playing even with the third base bag, everyone else playing back. Outfield straight away, Smalley a bit shallow and right. Strike 2 delivery, curveball down low, Lindsay wouldn't go after it.
Good idea.
Ball and 2 strikes. Lindsay on a 4-game hitting streak, and in that streak he's gone 6 for 15. It's a .400 average. 1-2 delivery's a fastball, hit high up in the air, foul down the right field line. Lowenberg trying to go over and get it, reaches out, but it's just out of his reach as he crashes into the guardrail. He's all right though, and the count is 1-2. Lowenberg went after it, and just a few inches out of his reach with that guardrail getting in the way. Got Justin Parrish waiting on deck. Royals already up 2-0, 2-run home run by Damon Frazier. The inning started off with a Murky leadoff single. He was thrown out at second on a fielder's choice by Scott on a failed bunt attempt, and then the 2-run homer by Frazier. Next pitch, a roller to third. Divin has it, pumps and throws to first. A little bit low, but it's easy for Lowenberg, and there's 2 away.
Perfect, and that's what you're looking for, too. Just those infield ground balls, get the easy outs,
Now
and put that
batting
home run
catcher
behind you.
number 28, Justin Parrish.
It's the first home run Mason Shuffler has allowed in his WNL career, the first-year player. 2 down now, nobody on, and here's Justin Parrish, the catcher. Even stance, batting from the right side. Shuffler in the middle of the rubber. First pitch swinging, it's a bounce to Volpicelli, the right side. He throws to first, and the side is retired. But the Royals do strike first. 2-run shot from Damon Frazier. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and none left. Royals 2, Generals coming up to bat when we come back. Back here in Lexington, we're in the bottom half of the first inning, and already the Generals facing a deficit. Damon Frazier with a 2-run homer to left field in the top half of the first puts Eastern Mennonite up 2-0. The Generals look to respond, and here's the lineup for Washington and Lee. Got Jason Volpicelli leading off from second, Zach Lowenberg at first, Chadwick Feely, the shortstop, Ryan Munson, the center fielder, in the cleanup spot, Paul Divin, the third baseman, bats fifth, Roby Smalley in right, Bryce Burnett catching, Marshall Dyke in left, and Austin Crane DHing. The pitcher today is Tyler Campbell for Eastern Mennonite. Tyler's had his mix of being in the bullpen and starting. Right-handed pitcher taking his last warm-up pitch. Let's give you the defense for Eastern Mennonite. Got Brett Lindsay at third, Damon Frazier at short, Matt Curry at second, Adam Marston at first, Jacob Murky in left, Jalen Lee in center, Daniel Scott in right, Justin Parrish behind the plate catching for Tyler Campbell. And John, for a guy like Campbell, nothing better than to come in the bottom of the first already with a lead.
Oh, you're feeling good for sure, especially that home run. Yeah, it's 2 runs. It's also a big morale boost from that big hit, so he's definitely coming into this inning feeling pretty good.
Trying to preserve this 2-0 lead as he faces Jason Volpicelli, who takes a fastball for a strike. Jason, in his last game, hit a home run against Virginia Wesleyan, his first collegiate home run. He went 2 for 10 in the series against Virginia Wesleyan. Fastball in the dirt, a ball and a strike to Mr. Volpicelli. The Royals gained 2 runs on 2 hits in the top of the first. Glove in front of the face of Campbell. He winds and delivers. The 1-1 again is in the dirt. 2-1 the count as the wind is starting to pick up a bit and it's blowing in, it looks like, from right center. In at third is Lindsay. 2-1 pitch is a fastball, just a bit off the plate outside. 3-1 to Volpicelli.
Good plate discipline as well, waiting for his pitch to come in here. Now you have 3-1, hitters count. Just got to sit back and wait for that right pitch.
3 balls and a strike. The pitch, inside out swing, and it's fouled off to the right. That was a pitch that came down and in on Volpicelli, and he tried taking it the other way. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, which these days is paradise here at Lexington.
Yeah, it is.
The windup and the payoff pitch on the way. It's chased and missed for strike 3. A breaking ball in the dirt. Play has to be made at first. The throw by Parrish is in time, and there's one away. And it's not easy striking out Volpicelli, but Campbell did a good job. He caught Volpicelli off guard.
And as a pitcher, that's really what you got to do. Just catch the batter off guard. It's really a mental game out there as opposed to a physical game. Just got to outthink the batter, and you got him. It's all mental.
3-2 count, you would normally expect the fastball, but he threw a breaking ball, and it definitely surprised Jason. So with 1 away, nobody on, here's Zach Lowenberg. Campbell's first pitch, fastball at the knees, a strike. 0-1. Now, Campbell is a strikeout pitcher, 11.25 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's only made 1 start this season. The rest of his appearances have come from the pen. This fastball is a little bit low, 1-1 to count to Lowenberg. In the 1 start Campbell made, he went 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts against Penn State Harrisburg. They lost that game 11-3. 1-1 delivery is a fastball tailing a bit off the plate outside. 2-1 to count to the left-handed hitter.
We're starting to see the same pattern. Batter before, first pitch strike, then 3 balls in a row. This batter, first pitch strike, and then 2 balls in a row. So let's see what he does here.
Here is the 2-1 pitch. Fastball in the dirt, and another 3-1 count.
There it is, same pattern.
Lowenberg on the conference so far, 357 average in the 4 ODAC games the Generals have played. 3-1 pitch to him is a ground ball to the second base side. To his left fielding it is Curry, and he throws out Lowenberg. 2 away, so both times Campbell gets behind on a 3-1 count, and both times he's able to get his man out.
He's firing back, yeah. He's making these batters swing as well. Volpicelli swung, strikeout. Lowenberg swung, ground ball to second baseman. So he's trying to get these guys to swing.
So 2 up, 2 down. A strikeout by Volpicelli, a ground out by Lowenberg, and here's Chadwick Feely. And relatively speaking, Feely is in a bit of a slump. In his last 4 games, Chadwick is batting 2 for 16. He went 1 for 8 against Virginia Wesleyan. In fact, the last 4 games have all been conference games, so ever since conference play started, Feely has struggled. Campbell's first pitch to Feely is a fastball at the knees for a strike. The Generals losing 2 games to Virginia Wesleyan and 2 to Hampton-Sydney. The windup and the strike 1 pitch. Fastball again at the knees. 0-2 the count. And Feely seemed unhappy. Don't know if it was because of the strike call or if he was upset that he took the pitch. Nonetheless, he's not happy. Generals in their blue. Eastern Mennonite wearing gray. Both schools have very similar colors. Now the windup and the strike 2 pitch is fouled off to the right. We'll try it again.
Campbell's doing a really good job of getting out in front of the count. We've seen 3 first pitch strikes and 3 batters so far.
And here he's got an 0-2 count against Feely, another guy that's not easy to strike out. Here's the 0-2 again, breaking ball. Feely thought about it but didn't swing. Now a check on the first base umpire, and yes, no swing. A ball and 2 strikes. Similar pitch to how he got Volpicelli to lead off the inning. On deck is Ryan Munson. 2-0 Royals here in the bottom of the first. Volpicelli struck out, Lowenberg grounded out. 1-2 pitch is a fly ball to right center field. Over to his right and back a bit is Scott, and he makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down as we complete an inning of work. The Royals lead the Generals by a score 2-0.
No hits.
Back here at Lexington, an inning of work done, and the Royals lead 2-0. They scored 2 runs on the Damon Frazier 2-run homer. They had 6 batters up in the top half of the first inning. Or excuse me, 5 batters up in the top of the first. Here's the number 6 hitter, Corey Willis. The DH, right-handed hitter, bench stand slightly open. Shuffler is set now. The first pitch is a fastball right on the corner, down and away for a strike. The home run by Frazier is the first home run Shuffler has allowed in his brief collegiate career. Strike 1 count. The pitch. Chasing a pitch down in the dirt, and the count is 0-2. Seemed like Willis got twisted up by that pitch coming in on him. Corey, a freshman from Fredericksburg, Virginia. 6'1", 170. Hasn't had a hit since February 9th. And then he lasers the next pitch foul. And I mean, he lasered it out of play.
That was a hard hit ball, man.
Usually I film the games in the top of the Generals dugout on the right side. And I'm pretty sure I should be happy not to be filming today because that ball would have hit me straight on. 2-strike count now. Again, Shuffler getting ahead on his batter. The 0-2 chasing a breaking ball in the dirt for strike 3. And once again, he fooled Willis with a pitch in the dirt, and Willis went diamond digging.
Yeah, no, great situational awareness on that one. You know that he's hungry, especially because he got strung up on that second strike on the inside. So good awareness by Shuffler to give him one in the dirt, make him chase it. Especially on an 0-2 count, you can't really go wrong. You have pitches to play with.
First strikeout for Shuffler today, and here's Adam Marston, the first baseman, batting from the left side. On deck is Jalen Lee. Shuffler's fastball is a bit low, a ball and no strikes. Marston went 1 for 5 against Roanoke, who was number 9 ranked at the time. That was his first hit since February 20th when he went 4 for 5 against Juniata. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball in the dirt. It bounced off the plate, I believe, and it went up and back to the screen. They're going to check on the first base umpire, and he did go around. So it's a count now of 1-1.
This is the first batter so far we have not seen a first pitch strike by Shuffler. And you know I'm a big first pitch strike guy because I think it's really good for the morale of the pitcher to get out in front of the count because now you're leading instead of trying to make up ground by having that first pitch strike.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Hard liner, foul outside of first. 1-2. So once again, another 2-strike count Shuffler is forced on the batter. So far, the 4 outs that he's forced, 3 of them have been ground outs, 1 has been a strikeout. 1 ground out was technically a fielder's choice on a bunt. A ball and 2 strikes to Mr. Marston, whose 1 hit against Roanoke was a home run. Fly ball slicing foul out of play down the left field line, so Marston stays alive.
And Shuffler has a few pitches to play with here on the 1-2 count. You know that Marston is swinging. So let's see what he does here.
A ball and 2 strikes. Royals lead 2-0 here in the top of the 2nd inning. Here's Shuffler's delivery. Chasing a pitch up high, and he tipped it into the mid of Burnett for strike 3. So 2 up, 2 strikeouts, 2 down.
Good way to break the rhythm there. I mean, we had a lot of stuff either down the plate a little bit on the inside, so going outside is definitely a really good job of breaking up that rhythm.
Forcing Marston to chase at that. So here's Jalen Lee now, the center fielder, number 8 hitter. With 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the 2nd. Divin playing in the infield grass. Everybody else halfway or back. Smalley still playing shallow and right. Lee, right-handed hitter, shows bunt, takes a fastball for a strike. 0-1 count. Will be interesting to see how long Shuffler can be out there. Hasn't really had a long outing yet this season. His front foot is towards third base while his back foot is halfway in the rubber. Curveball lined in the left field. Running in is Dyke to make the grab as the ball stayed up, and the side is retired in order.
Excellent grab.
Nicely done by Shuffler as well. 3 up, 3 down as we head to the bottom of the 2nd with the Royals leading 2-0. Bottom half of the 2nd inning here at Captain Dick Smith Field. Hope you're enjoying your Friday afternoon. Don't really have many baseball games on Fridays, but this is one of those days, and you can thank Mother Nature for that. And this is going to be a tough weekend, at least first half of the weekend for the Generals, because after today, they have a doubleheader tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Lynchburg. It's 2-0 Royals here in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Shuffler doing a fine job at the top of the 2nd, though, forcing a 3 up, 3 down inning on the Royals. It's Ryan Munson, Paul Divin, and Roby Smalley due up for the Generals. Here's Munson, and here's Campbell's first pitch at the knees for a strike. Munson, one of the players for the Generals, who was off to a very rough start, but has slowly gotten his swing back together in the month of March. The 0-1 pitch, a big swing, chasing a pitch outside. The count is 0-2, and Munson was going for a solo home run on that swing.
Sure looked like it from here.
Munson batting .235 on the season. Behind 0-2. Campbell's fastball is high. A ball and 2 strikes. Munson, the sophomore, stepping back into the box. The man from Frisco, Texas is ready. Campbell with the windup. The 1-2 is a fastball just missing off the plate.
Good hold.
Now Munson went 0 for 7 against Virginia Wesleyan, and that snapped the 7-game hitting streak where he batted .370. 2-2 delivery on the way, a swing and a miss. Looked like he got ahead of what looked like a changeup from Campbell, and he's down on strikes.
The third baseman, number 18.
I know you said before that Campbell is a strikeout pitcher, and we've seen that so far. I mean, every batter, he's really getting out in front of the count and being aggressive as the pitcher, try to get these guys to swing and get outside of their comfort zone.
2 of the 4 outs coming via a swinging strikeout. Here's Paul Divin now. Divin, the third baseman, batting from the right side with an open stance and bent. Campbell's pitch, fastball up and in, leading Divin back a bit. A ball and no strikes. Divin had one of the more recent heroic moments for the Generals when he hit a game-tying home run against Southern Virginia. Next pitch just misses a bit low, 2-0. Divin hitting a laser that went over the left field fence. In the game, the Generals eventually won by 1. Campbell's 2-0 delivery on the way, breaking ball lined in the right field. That's a base hit. So Divin waiting on the pitch, able to slap it the other way, and that's the first base runner for the Generals today.
And that's a nice, solid base hit as well. Nice line drive over the second baseman to shallow right field. That's exactly what you need. Especially down by 2 runs. You don't need the 2 runs all in one inning. You just need a few base runners, few base hits, and when you string them together, that's how you win baseball games.
So here's Roby Smalley now. Brandon Cohen is the third base coach for the Generals. You got Gavin Colleton at first. Ted White, the head coach, in the dugouts, giving the signs and the calls to the Generals' offense and defense. Smalley, left-handed hitter, in the box now. First pitch is a fastball, a strike on the outside corner. So Divin stands at first after a single. Smalley now facing Campbell, who's dealing from the stretch for the first time today. Oh, 1 count. The kick and the pitch, fastball a bit low. Parrish tried to hold but didn't get the call. A ball and a strike to Roby Smalley. .212 average on the season for Mr. Smalley. On deck waiting is Bryce Burnett, the catcher. Everyone in the infield no more back than halfway. Next pitch, a chopper over the mound, behind second, gloved nicely by Frazier, flips to the bag to get the out, and then the throw to first is not in time, but still a nice play by Frazier to make a nice flip to Curry and get the lead runner Divin out.
Definitely a heads-up play as well, and a really nice glove grab at that.
The catcher, number 33, Bryce.
While you didn't get the double play, you did get the 1 out. Now you got 2 outs in defense. You see 1 more to go in and hit. So nice heads-up from Frazier.
So Smalley on base after the fielder's choice. Here is Bryce Burnett.
He's got some Freebirds walk-up song. Nice pump-up song.
It's been a while since we've seen Burnett play. Last time he played, he had quite the performance. Runner on first with 2 down, curveball taken by Burnett low. A ball and no strikes. Burnett, the catcher for the Generals. He's either caught or DH'd for Washington and Lee this season. Sophomore from Hurt, Virginia. Next pitch, popped foul, out of play over the Generals' dugout. A ball and a strike. Last time Burnett played was way back on March 3rd, where he went 3 for 4 against Penn State Harrisburg with 5 RBIs. A double and a triple. Standing at first is Smalley. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. 2-0 Royals. 1-1 count to Bryce Burnett. Campbell delivers, and it's at the knees for a strike. 1-2 to Burnett. Marshall Dyke waiting on deck if the inning continues.
A little bit of a shift by Lee out there in center, taking a few steps towards right field.
Infield tugged a bit to the left. 1-2 is a ground ball shortstop side. Frazier to his left flips to the second base bag. Curry there to get the force and end the inning. Nothing doing for the Generals despite the single by Paul Divin. It's 2-0 Royals as we head to the top of the third. Two innings complete as we've just eclipsed the half-hour game time. 2-0 Royals. The 2 runs came on a Damon Frazier 2-run home run in the top half of the first inning. The Generals had their first hit in the second inning, a single by Divin, but they come up empty with just 1 hit and 1 left on base. 9-1-2 hitters up now for Eastern Mennonite: Matt Curry, Jacob Murky, and Daniel Scott. Here's Curry with a very bent stance batting from the right side. Shuffler's first pitch way outside and in the dirt. Nice backhand stop by Burnett, even though it wouldn't have made a difference. A ball, no strikes. I say Shuffler's looking for a longer outing. His longest outing so far this season was 2 2/3, and that was in his start against Methodist. His other start wasn't so pretty. Accidental foul on a check swing that came so far inside of Curry. He barely started his swing and it was foul.
Yeah, he was fending that one off.
1-1 to count. The other start that Shuffler had was against Penn State Harrisburg. Only went a third of an inning before 3 earned runs out of 5 total. A ball on the strike, but Shuffler's done a good job after that rough start to the first inning with the 2-run homer. Pitch misses down low in the dirt. 2-1 to count to Curry. After the home run by Frazier, a couple ground outs, 2 strikeouts, and a line out. Divin in at third. 2-1 pitch, a line drive slicing to the gap in right center. On his horse to the right is Smalley, who makes the catch, sliding down to the ground. Seen him do that a couple times this season. Nice play for the first out.
Really got some speed there by Smalley. He saw that ball right off the bat and immediately started going towards that gap. And he was hauling towards that gap as well.
Sometimes it's easy to overrun that ball when it's slicing towards you like that as well. Started off looking like it was going to the 400 mark in center, and then it just kept slicing away from the center fielder Munson, so it was all Smalley's ball from there. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Here's Jacob Murky. Leadoff single in the first from Murky, an infield single. Takes a fastball up high from Shuffler. Murky, just about your prototypical leadoff hitter, 353 average. He's also stolen 5 bases in 5 attempts. 1 for 1 today. Shuffler's 1-0 pitch, hit high up in the air. Second base side of the infield, Volpicelli back to the lip of the grass makes the grab. 2 away.
Now batting
That was a
right field,
towering
number
infield
19,
fly ball.
Daniel Scott.
That's 7 in a row retired by Mason Shuffler. So here's Daniel Scott. Fielder's choice on a bunt attempt his first time up. 2 down, nobody on here in the top of the third. 2-0 Eastern Mennonite. Divin again playing in at third as Shuffler steps off for a moment. Now leans in over his left foot to get a sign from Burnett. Lefty waiting at the plate. Curve, a strike on the outside corner. If the inning continues, you do have Mr. Frazier on deck. Sizable gap up the middle. 0-1 the count. Shuffler's pitch is a fastball right where Burnett wanted it on the outside corner for a strike.
Great placement.
0-2 count. Shuffler looking to force a second consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning. The 0-2 is outside and pretty far outside, so Scott wouldn't chase after, and the count is 1-2. Eastern Mennonite coming off a doubleheader sweep loss against Roanoke and Virginia Wesleyan. 1-2 pitch way outside again. Burnett jumping out of his position, going to the left to snag that, and the count is 2-2. Eastern Mennonite is 9-10 on the season. The Generals are 7-11 after starting off the season 4-0. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mr. Scott, the pitch. Chopper to the second base side on 2 hops. Volpicelli has it come off his glove and go into center field. And that should be an error on Daniel, or on Volpicelli, allowing Daniel to reach base. And it is.
Now batting the shortstop, number 21, Damon Frazier.
Yeah, it's a pitch. That's a tough one to swallow because you look at it, you think it's a routine ground ball. And for the most part, it was prior to the bounce. But, I mean, Shuttler's just got to lock in, fire back. They need one more out to go in and hit. So we just got to lock in, focus here. He's been doing a really good job since that home run, the first inning of locking down Bonds. As you said, the prior, except for this bat, the prior 7 outs were consecutive. So we just got to lock in here, get his head on right, and go hit.
Get an out in this guy who homered off of him in the first, Damon Frazier. Scott standing at first with 2 down here in the top of the third. First ball swinging off the end of the bat. A roller right to Feely. He's going to make the play at first just in time. He almost took a little too long making the throw. Very close play. And it looks like first base coach Nick Love doesn't agree with the call. But that ends the inning. So the only runner came on an error by Volpicelli. So no runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the third. Shuffler getting the job yet again here in his longest outing of the season so far. 2-0 Eastern Mennonite. We'll be back. Bottom half of the third inning here at Captain Dick Smith Field. 2-0 Royals as Mason Shuffler, after allowing the home run the first, done a fine job recovering from that. Retired 7 in a row before an error allowed Scott to reach base. He actually retired, 7 in a row, and then the ground out on Frazier ended the inning. It's Dyke, Crane, and Volpicelli due up for the Generals. Dyke swings on the first pitch and fouls it off behind the plate. So far, Campbell has faced 3 batters in the first and 4 in the second. The windup from Campbell. Strike 1 delivery is a fastball. Actually, looks like an off-speed pitch breaking at the last second. It caught the outside corner. 0-2 the count.
The pitch was sitting right on that outside corner, outside and low.
Campbell not wasting any time. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball outside of third. Cohen tried the barehanded but failed. Count stays at 0-2. And Dyke was trying to pull that breaking ball and barely got a piece of it. So now once again the strike 2 pitch. Fastball up and away, a ball and 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts so far in the first 2 innings for Tyler Campbell. Whole infield playing back. Outfield playing shallow. The 1-2 pitch is a line drive to the gap in left center. That's going to fall in, and that's going to get by both outfielders as Dyke makes the turn to second, and he'll be in there standing with a leadoff double.
Awesome for Dyke to take that off-speed pitch. Look, a little bit of changeup coming in there and just drive it right over the shortstop into that sizable gap between left and center. And also, too, no outs. You lead off with a double. That's a great morale booster and really, get the momentum going for the Generals in this bottom part of the inning where they need to generate some runs.
And with the outfield playing shallow, if they were playing at normal depth, they might have cut the ball off and hold Dyke to a single, but they were so shallow and Dyke hit the ball pretty hard. It got by both Murky and Lee. So runner on second, Austin Crane at the plate. Corner infielders playing in. Crane shows bunt, takes a pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. Not a big surprise here with your man at second and nobody out. Play a little bit of small ball and move him over to third on a sacrifice attempt. We saw Eastern Mennonite try that earlier and it failed. In that case, he was trying to move the runner from first to second. Bunt laid down in front of the plate on a hop. Fielded by Parrish, only play at first. He makes the play as Dyke goes to third, so nicely done by Crane. Sacrifice bunt, no at bat.
Now batting the second baseman.
I mean, the Generals should generate just one run in this inning. That's a win, overall win for this inning alone. Because, again, baseball sport where you don't need everything back at once. We still got plenty of baseball to play. So get one here. Just cut the lead in half. Looking good going on the top part of the inning.
Big chance here with the runner 90 feet away and Marshall Dyke. And you got your leadoff hitter in the lineup, Jason Volpicelli up. First ball swinging, line drive to center. That's hit pretty well. It should be deep enough. Back into his right is Lee to make the catch. Dyke tags up. He will score without a play, and the Generals get on the board.
And there it is.
Now batting.
Volpicelli not wasting any time driving in the first run for Washington Lee after he struck out his first time up. So now you got 2 down with nobody on. It's a 2-1 ball game. Lowenberg grounded out to second his first time up. Campbell's delivery, fastball down low off the glove of Parrish and trickles behind him. 1-0 count. Inning started off with a leadoff double by Dyke. He moved over to third on Crane's sac bunt, and then Volpicelli attacked on the first pitch and got a sac fly, bringing Dyke home. The 1-0 pitch on the way is just a bit low and again off the glove of Parrish. So the last 2 pitches, Parrish having a hard time catching the pitches from Campbell. Volpicelli with the RBI, his 10th RBI of the season. The first-year player, a force to reckon with so far for the opponents this year at WNL. 1-1 is just a bit low and away. 2-1 the count to Lowenberg. Zach came into this game with a .324 batting average on the season. First year of real good play time, and he's making the most of it. 2-1 to the lefty, breaking ball low, and Lowenberg showing a lot of patience now as the count is 3-1.
And he's looking really good in this scenario. 2 outs, a 3-1 count. Couldn't ask for any better.
We've seen Campbell recover from 3-run counts in the first inning a couple times. We'll see what he does here after allowing the first run for Washington Lee. 3-1 pitch, line drive in the left. Murky doesn't even move. He's right there to make the catch, and the side is retired. But the Generals do strike. A sac fly by Jason Volpicelli. They get a run on a hit, a double by Dyke to lead off the inning. No errors and none left. 2-1 ball game. Royals out front of the Generals as we completed 3 innings. complete. Here at Washington and Lee, the Generals able to get on the board on a Volpicelli sac fly last inning. It's 2-1 Royals after they had a 2-run homer from Damon Frazier back in the first. And Vaughn Stufa here alongside John Harasinski. And John, Shuffler's done a fine job ever since allowing that home run.
No, he really has. And, you know, in the moment you could think, oh, man, that home run's going to get to me. Like, I don't know what to do. But no, Shuffler's been doing a great job of locking in after that and really making sure that his head is in the game. I mean, really, after the home runs, he had, what, one man on base now is from an error. So he's doing a really good job. And he's still pitching out the stretch as well. And so he's just cruising out there right now.
He deals a fastball low and inside to Brett Lindsay, the leadoff hitter. Yeah, Shuffler doesn't really have a windup. He basically deals from the same position, basically in the stretch. Lindsay, a ground out to third his first time up. He is 0 for 1. The 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball just a bit low and inside. 2-0. Looks like Shuffler might be more towards the third base side of the rubber here against Lindsay, which would make sense because it makes it harder to see for the right-handed hitter. 2-0 count. Good hitters count. The pitch. It's up high. One of the few times we've seen Shuffler run into a little bit of trouble in terms of the count. 3-0 to Lindsay. I think that's the first 3-0 count we've seen all day.
Yeah, I believe so.
And when I say all day, I mean on both sides as well. 3-0 pitch to Lindsay. Fastball taken, and it's just a bit low. 4-pitch walk to start off the inning as Lindsay jogs his way to first. I wouldn't even say jog. He sprinted his way to first.
No, now Shuffler just have to do a job of, again, like he did with the home run, just getting his head on right. Leadoff walks are never really a good thing because now you have man on base. You cause him to get on base, no outs. But if you lock in, generate a ground ball, you got a double play. Now you're sitting with 2 outs and no man on base. So it's really just a mental game for Shuffler at this point.
If there's a common way for a pitcher to bite himself, it's allowing a leadoff walk.
Absolutely.
Shuffler turns and throws to first, and back in is Lindsay. Justin Parrish up to bat. He grounded out to second back in the first to end the inning. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Royals. A run, 2 hits, and an error for the Generals. That one error came on Volpicelli last inning. Shuffler again throws to first. Lindsay back in with plenty of time. 2 for 2 on the season in stolen bases for Brett. Eastern Mennonite as a team is 26 for 29 in stolen bases. Parrish, a .273 average on the season before today. Takes a pitch high and a little bit tight. 1-0 the count. Parrish so far on the road is 0 for 5 in the season. 1-0 pitch is a mile-high pop-up. Might be playable. Foul ground, third base side. Divin going all the way towards the guardrail. It came back on him, but he stayed with it and made the catch as he leaned back and fell to his back. Nice play by Divin. Those foul balls, they usually come back to the person.
Yep.
And Divin was able to realize that the last possible instinct and hold on.
Yeah, he could tell he overran it just a little bit, but he did a really good job of bending back to make sure he grabbed that. And honestly, as a pitcher for Shuffler, it's a big boost to know that your guys are out there willing to put their bodies on the line to make sure that they make the play and get you outs, to get you out of whatever scenario you're in. So Shuffler's looking pretty good after that foul out.
And the wind has died down a bit, which makes it a little bit easier on a fielder when they look up at a pop-up. So 1 down, Lindsay at first. Here's Corey Willis, the DH. First pitch is high and tight. Willis, his first time out, he struck out swinging leading off the second. This is the part of the lineup where Shuffler pretty much handled with ease, striking out Willis, Marston, and forcing Lee to line out back in the second. Leadoff walk by Lindsay. Parrish popped out in foul ground after a nice catch by Divin. 1-0 pitch to Willis in the dirt, blocked by Burnett. Runner's going anyway. The throw to second on a hop. The tag. I think the runner came off the bag, and he's out.
He did, yep.
Feely with the tag, and there's 2 away. I don't know if Lindsay beat the tag, but he seemed like he overslid and came off the bag, and Feely stayed with it.
Now, when that ball was firing down, it looked like the ball might beat him there just by a hair of a second, but at the end, it did look like he totally overslid the bag, generating that out. I mean, again, for Shuffler, it's a huge play, and a really good heads-up play by Burnett to go down and throw it, especially after the ball getting away from him.
So 2 out, nobody on now, and a 2-0 count to Willis. Next pitch on the way, a big swing and a miss on a pitch that came a bit inside on the hands of Willis. 2-1. On deck is Adam Marston if the inning continues. The 2-1, a late swing on a pitch that just basically went by Willis. 2-2.
Keeping that ball outside and low.
So after the leadoff walk, things have really turned in favor of the Generals now. A nice catch and a runner caught stealing. Next pitch off the end of the bat, a slow grounder to the right side of second. It's Volpicelli making the play, and the side is retired. So Shuffler did face the minimum. It was a leadoff walk, then a pop foul out catch, and then a runner caught stealing, and then the ground out. We head to the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-1 Royals. We'll take a break. Back here at Lexington, bottom half of the fourth inning. 2-1 Eastern Mennonite, but the story so far for the Generals, John, is that Shuffler has done an incredible job recovering from the home run. Even though he ran into some slight trouble leading off this inning, he was able to face the minimum anyhow.
Yeah, no, the defense really stepped up and helped out Shuffler in this past half inning, which, again, as a pitcher, is a great thing to know that you guys are behind you, willing to make plays to get your boys in to go hit and get some runs.
Here's Chadwick Feely to lead off for the Generals in the bottom of the fourth. He takes a pitch from Campbell a little bit low. Chadwick Feely, Ryan Munson, and Paul Divin due up for Washington and Lee. The Generals scored last inning on a Volpicelli sac fly. Feely flied out to right to end the first inning. He's 0 for 1. And now 2 for his last 17. 1-0 pitch is a fly ball, shallow center, late read by Lee. Now he comes in. He's there, though, and makes the catch, and there's one away.
Now batting.
We're seeing the sun poke out a little bit up in the clouds, so making it a little bit more difficult for Lee to grab that. Saw him throwing his sunglasses right before he made the play.
Right now the sun is basically blinding anybody in left field. The sun shining to our right and setting. So for Murky and for Dyke, it might be a bit of a challenge if the sun stays out and the clouds stay away. Here's Ryan Munson now. 1 down, nobody on the bottom of the fourth. Campbell's delivery is a strike despite Munson checking his swing. Caught the outside corner and the count is 0-1. Munson struck out swinging leading off the second. He's 0 for 1. Now 0 for his last 8. The strike one pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, off the dirt, and behind the plate. A ball and a strike. Now these are a couple teams who aren't really known for their offense. Eastern Mennonite's team batting average is .248. Meanwhile, Washington and Lee's team batting average is .243. A chopper to the right side in the hole, cut off by Curry. Over to his left, he makes the play and throws Munson out. 2 down.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 18.
In fact, the .243 team average for the Generals and the .248 team average for Eastern Mennonite are the 2 lowest team averages in the ODAC conference.
Yeah, those batting hours, they're just tough to win games when you're batting in the 240s. I mean, even if your pitching is phenomenal, if you can't hit the ball, you can't score runs. You can't score runs, you don't win.
And for the Generals, their pitching hasn't been quite up to par either. Here's Paul Divin now, who takes a breaking ball from Campbell, called a strike on the outside corner. Divin, the one hit in the second inning, and then the second hit was a double by Dyke in the third, so Divin is 1 for 1. Breaking ball, chased and missed, 0-2. Divin way out in front. Eastern Mennonite's team ERA is 5.22 on the season. And usually you want to allow 4 or less. 4 is like that magic number to win a baseball game. Line drive in the left center, another base hit for Divin, and this one somewhat gets past Lee, and Divin's going to try and go for 2. The throw coming in, cut off, no relay. It's another double, this time by Divin on an 0-2 pitch.
A nice hustle coming around first base. I mean, he really throwing the afterburners after rounding that back.
Lee couldn't quite cut it off. It got by him for an instant before he was able to catch up with it, and that made the difference. So a 2-out double by Divin. Now here's Roby Smalley. And the tying run is in scoring position.
That makes Divin 2-2. 2 for 2 on the day, I should say.
A single to right field and a single up the middle, or a double up the middle in the center field. Smalley, a fielder's choice his first time up. Fastball from Campbell is outside. A ball and no strikes. The Generals have had a hit in each of the last 3 innings. 2 of those for extra bases. From the stretch, glove at the chest. Campbell steps off. Frazier, the shortstop, coming behind Divin towards the second base bag. Now Frazier retreats back to his normal spot, watching Divin, who takes a decent lead. The 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, 2-0 to Smalley. Roby's hit a lot better when he's at home compared to being on the road. Fastball just misses low. 3-0 the count. And that didn't miss by much.
Nope. That was close.
Of course, that home batting average for Smalley helped a bit by his 4-for-4 performance against Southern Virginia way back in the beginning of the year. 3-0 taken all the way for a strike, and the count is 3-1. Roby is 2 for 20 in his last 6 games, plus the 1 at bat today. Couple hits against Virginia Wesleyan, though. Here's the 3-1. Hard grounder right side into right field. Base hit. Divin is going to be sent home. The throw from Scott in right field goes all the way through, but it's not in time. And now going to second is Smalley. The throw goes into right center. Smalley holds on and stays at second, but the Generals tie it up as Divin scores.
Excellent hit there by Smalley. Nice hard line drive to the right side. And that's exactly what you need in that scenario with the man on second base and 2 outs. You just need a base hit, and hopefully the magic will happen and score the run, which it did. It did, and that throw coming into home certainly did not help things. That was way off.
Yeah, it wasn't a good throw. It was up the third base line. That's going to be an RBI single for Roby Smalley. He went to second on the throw. That is going to be a talk at the mound. So it's a 2-2 ball game. The Generals scoring 1 run in the third and in the fourth. It started off with Feely flying out to center, then Munson grounding out, then Divin with a big 2-out double, followed by Smalley's RBI single.
But you know what? That's exactly what you need. After the 2-run home run by Eastern Mennonite, you just need to chip away at that score. Last inning, generate a run. This inning, generate a run. And that's really how you string the runs together and create a nice baseball game.
4th RBI on the season for Roby Smalley. Bringing Divin home, and give credit to Divin for that big 2-out double to start the party. Usually doing the mound visits is Adam Posey, as they had a visit to talk with Campbell, who's run into a bit of trouble in the last couple innings. Here's Bryce Burnett with a runner at second. Burnett takes a strike at the knees. 0-1. Burnett fielder's choice to end the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Smalley standing at second now, the go-ahead run. Curve, a big swing and a miss. Burnett tried to wait as long as he could, but swung right through it. Now he's behind 0-2. Big hole in the right side of the infield. Curry's watching Smalley. Strike 2 delivery, fastball just a bit off the plate. Tough pitch to take with an 0-2 count.
That looked really good from here.
Outfield playing shallow and a big gap in left center for Burnett. 1-2 count. Campbell a look at second, deals, and it's slapped foul over the Generals bullpen. Don't see much going on in the Generals bullpen or on the other side with the Royals. A ball and 2 strikes to Burnett, and waiting on deck at the inning continues is Marshall Dyke, who started the party back in the third. The pitch chased and missed, went after a pitch up high, and Burnett is down on strikes. But the Generals do come back to tie it up. 2-out double by Divin, RBI single by Smalley. So 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on second base. Tied up after 4. We'll take a break. Innings complete. 2-2 here in the top of the 5th. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Eastern Mennonite. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Generals. The Royals scored 2 runs in the first on a 2-run homer by Frazier. Volpicelli's sac fly in the third. RBI single by Smalling the fourth tied this game up. Here's Adam Marston to lead off for the Royals as Shuffler deals a pitch low and away. Mason, his longest outing by far, allowed the 2-run homer in the first, but he's been very solid since. The only base runners came on a walk and an error. Marston struck out back in the second. He's 0 for 1. 1-0 count as Shuffler delivers, and it's belted deep down the right field line, hooking, but it's foul. And he got a hold of that and then some. Home run distance for sure. And it's a break for Shuffler. A ball and a strike.
Yeah, that's when you look at and you thank God it went foul.
It's about a 350-foot foul ball. Divin playing in at third. Rest of the infield playing back. 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Actually tipped into the mitt. Nonetheless, the count is 1-2. Marston, Lee, and Curry. 7 and 9 hitters due up for Eastern Mennonite. Wind still slightly blowing in from right center. Here's the 1-2. Fastball popped up. Shortstop side behind the infield. It's Feely making the grab. 1 away.
Now batting the center fielder.
And that's pitch number 52 for Shuffler out there. It's looking pretty good on the pitch count. Right now, coming into the top of the 5th inning, if you figure your average is 15 per inning, you should be right around 60, so he's well under that average.
Here's Jalen Lee, the center fielder. Fastball tipped foul back, and the count is 0-1. Only 2 balls have made it to the outfield so far. Well, 3 if you include the home run. But since then, just a line out to left by Lee and a line out to right by Curry. Otherwise, the ball hasn't made it past the infield. Oh, and 1 the count to Mr. Lee. Shuffler with a fastball high and tight, making Lee lean all the way back.
A little bit of chin music.
A ball and a strike. Ben Spots, the head coach for Eastern Mennonite, is the third base coach. As before mentioned, Nick Love at first. Fastball just a bit outside. 2-1. Matt Curry waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's hit high up in the air again. This one just behind the infield. Feely's calling for it, going to his right. He makes the grab. 2 up, 2 pop outs to short, 2 away, and here's Matt Curry.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Matt Curry.
Nice grabs by Feely out there, especially with that sun right in his eyes. I know we were talking last half inning about the position of the sun, and it's staring really right on that left side of the field.
Infield's had a busy day today, to say the least. Here's Matt Curry at the bottom of the lineup. 2 down, nobody on top of the 5th. It's 2-2. A strike from Shuffler on the inside corner. And once again, Shuffler able to get ahead on the batter. Throwing strikes has been a bit of an issue for the Generals pitching this season, but so far it's been good for Shuffler as he threw what might have been the best breaking ball he's thrown yet, bending its way over the outside corner for a strike.
That was an excellent pitch.
11-5 movement on that breaking ball, which makes it really hard for a righty. The strike 2 pitch, breaking ball, this one's in the dirt and inside. 1-2.
That one just needed a little bit more of break to land right in that inside part of the strike zone.
Smalley very shallow and right. He's almost playing like a second baseman in a full shift. A ball and 2 strikes. Shuffler deals, and it's tipped foul straight down. We'll try it again. Matt Curry hasn't had a hit since back in March 6th against Wilkes. 0 for 4 on the road. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt again. 2-2. So after taking that breaking ball for a strike, Curry's still not going after a couple more curves from Shuffler. Looking for another 3-up, 3-down inning. Faced the minimum last inning, got one back in the second. 2-2 is a line drive to center field. That's hit pretty well. Back is Munson to his left, but he's got it. Side retired in order. Halfway through this one, tied up at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. This game is about an hour and 8 minutes long, and we're already halfway. So it's been a very fast-paced game, and I'm sorry in advance if it turns out to be much slower later on.
You jinxed it.
2-2. That's the score so far. Royals 2 runs in the first, Generals a run in the third and in the fourth. Shuffler doing a fine job forcing a 3-up, 3-down inning on the Royals in the top of the fifth. Here's Marshall Dyke, who takes a fastball from the starter Campbell up and in for a ball. Bonza Tufa here alongside John Harashinsky. Want to give a shout out to our producer, Andy McEnroe. Next pitch, a chopper slowly hit down the third base line. It's foul, gloved by Lindsay. I want to thank Andy McEnroe for helping back in the studio, producing this broadcast on WLUR All Access and First Team Broadcasting. Andy, thank you as always. A ball and a strike to count to Dyke, who had a double to lead off the third, came around to score on the sac fly by Volpicelli. Dyke, Crane, and Volpicelli due up for the Generals here in the bottom of the fifth. 1-1 pitch is a strike on the inside corner. 1-2.
Pretty sizable gap over there in left center.
And with the outfield playing shallow, hard hit ball can lead to big consequences. Fastball high and tight, 2-2. They had the outfield shallow on Dyke when he hit the double that got by both Murky and Lee.
Yep.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Curve, got him swinging.
Now batting.
One away, and here's Crane.
Hitter, number 3, Austin Crane.
Tyler Campbell, the starter, had a relatively solid first couple innings. Forced the Generals to go 3 up, 3 down in the first. Forced a couple fielders' choices in the second. He faced 4 batters in the third, 5 in the fourth, as Crane swings and misses on the first pitch from Campbell. Now here's the 0-1 pitch to Crane. Checks swing, but it's called a strike anyway on the outside corner. That was a fastball by Campbell as Parrish's throw went over the mound and trickles back towards second. Curry will pick it up and hand it over to his pitcher, Campbell. Crane a sac bunt in the third, moved Dyke up to third, and eventually led Marshall to scoring. 1 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the fifth. 0-2, and here's the pitch. Fastball, strike 3 called right on the outside corner, and Crane is gone on 3 pitches.
And that's pitch number 70 for Campbell out there, which again, we were talking about Shuffler last inning, about average pitches per inning. If you figure 15, he should be right around at the end of this inning, around 75. So he's doing good as far as pitch count's concerned. And really, he's been going to that breaking ball a whole lot. As we said before, Campbell is a strikeout pitcher, and we've seen that twice so far in this inning.
5 strikeouts in this game. Last 3 outs have been on strikeouts. Here's Volpicelli. He struck him out back in the first. It's a breaking ball in the dirt for a ball. Volpicelli chasing a breaking ball in the dirt on a 3-2 count back in the first, striking out. And then a sac fly in the third with an RBI. 1-0 pitch is a fly ball to center field. That's playable. Lee back and a bit to his left, makes the grab, and the side is retired in order. Nicely done by Campbell. It's starting to become a bit of a pitcher's battle here. 2-2, but both pitchers have been pretty efficient considering the score. 5 innings of work completed. We'll be back for the top of the 6th. Five innings completed in what's developing into a pitching battle. 2-2 to score, but both pitchers have been pretty efficient so far despite allowing 2 runs each. Eastern Mennonite coming up to bat after Tyler Campbell, the starter, forced the Generals to go 3 up, 3 down back in the 5th. Top 3 hitters up for Eastern Mennonite: Murky, Scott, and Frazier. Shuffler still pitching, looking to complete a 6th inning of work as he delivers a fastball a bit outside. Murky a single and a pop out. He's 1 for 2. A ball, no strikes. Fastball a bit high, 2-0. It was cloudy to start the day, but now it's partly cloudy. The sun is out. And of course, now it's been a week since daylight savings time. The sun's going to set much later than normal, which you can't complain about.
No, you can't.
2-0 delivery is a strike on the inside corner. Looked like a fastball tailing in a bit on the righty Murky. 2-1.
A little bit of two-seam action going on.
Murky with a single back in the first, now on an 11-game hitting streak. Hit safely in 13 of his last 15. 2-1 delivery is inside, turning Murky away, and the count is 3-1. Both teams went 3 up, 3 down last inning. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Royals, 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Generals. Good count for Murky to 3-1. Fastball at the knees, called a strike. Full count.
Good way to fire back right there. Now Shuffler's got to lock in, and here comes the payoff pitch, and got to hope it's somewhere in that strike zone.
Full count to Murky. Here's the payoff pitch. It's high and tight, and it's another leadoff walk. Second one the last 3 innings, drawn by Eastern Mennonite's batting.
And hopefully the Generals can orchestrate something that they did during the 4th inning where they had the leadoff walk. And really, they faced 3 hitters that entire inning. And the defense really came out to play with that foul out by the third baseman. And another, not caught stealing, but they got the runner off of the wild pitch.
Last 3 innings, or 3 of the 4 innings, have been Shuffler facing the minimum. And the 1 inning he didn't face the minimum, he only faced 4. Keeps Murky steady, though, throws to first, and Murky slides back in. Daniel Scott up to bat now. Fielder's choice, and he reached on an error. So he's 0 for 2 despite reaching base, both times. Divin in the infield grass. Bunt being shown, retreated, and the pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 count. Scott tried to show bunt back in the first inning, and he bunted into a force out, getting Murky out back in the first. Similar situation here. Murky leads off getting on base, and Scott's trying to bunt, looking for a little more success here, though, compared to the last attempt. Again, a throw to first by Shuffler. Divin is prepared, though. He's in the infield grass. Usually Lowenberg, the first baseman, if he doesn't have to hold the runner down, you'll see him run halfway down the first base line expecting a bunt. But he has to hold down Murky. Bunt shown again. Retreated. The pitch is low and away. 2-0. The 2 runs for Eastern Mennonite. A 2-run home run by Damon Frazier back in the first, and Frazier is waiting on deck. Middle infield in double play depth. Outfield playing in about normal depth. 2-0 count. Bunt laid down the first base side. This time it's a good bunt. Lowenberg has it. Has to throw to the second baseman, Volpicelli, but the throw goes down the right field line. Going to third is Murky. He'll be held there. Scott goes to second, and all of a sudden now you got 2 in scoring position with nobody out.
Oh boy, this is not the situation you want to be in, especially after that leadoff walk.
Tough angle for Lowenberg to make the play. Volpicelli was a little bit late to the bag, but Lowenberg kind of threw it away, and it trickled down the right field line.
The shortstop, number 21.
But you know, even despite that, it would have been a close call regardless. It was a nicely placed bunt by Scott.
Quick little talk between Burnett and Shuffler as Mason has run into a bit of trouble now. Looks like they're going to intentionally walk Damon Frazier, which makes sense. Got the open bag, and you got one of the power hitters up to the plate. Frazier, the 2-run home run back in the first, and the ground out into third. Ball 1 was thrown. Now ball 2 has been thrown. They scored that a bunt single for Scott and an error by Lowenberg. Ball 3 has been thrown, so now you got the bases loaded. It's a risky situation.
But you know what? The way the Generals defense has been playing, it's probably going to be a good move in the end. I mean, over the past 3 innings, we've seen the Generals come out on defense and really play out there for Shuffler. And so if they could do that here, if Shuffler could generate a ground ball, you could either stop the run or get a double play, and then you're looking at a 2-out scenario, and next out gets your boys Indigo hit. So hopefully it will be the right decision.
Well, Ted White's now going to have a chat with the infield here. The bullpen now starting to warm up a bit. I believe that's Nate Cohen warming up in the Generals' pen. Bases are loaded with nobody out. Leadoff walk by Murky, a bunt single by Scott, and error by Lowenberg allowed Murky to go to third, Scott to go to second, and then Frazier intentionally walked. Ted White having a talk with the whole infield, while the outfielders Dyke, Munson, and Smalley just stand idle at their positions. All the base runners, batters at the plate are on deck, and all the base coaches are having a talk over at the Eastern Mennonite dugout. Murky, Scott, Frazier, Spots, and Love, and that's going to be it for Mason Shuffler. He did a solid job, very solid job at that, running into some trouble here, a little bit tough luck with the error, but the bases are loaded, and Nate Cohen will be coming up to pitch when we come back. Well, things have really turned quite interesting here for Eastern Mennonite, and it turned around quickly for them. Leadoff walk by Murky, bunt single by Scott, error by Lowenberg moved them both into scoring position, and Frazier was intentionally walked. And now you have Brett Lindsay up, and Nate Cohen, left-handed pitcher, on the mound now, place of Mason Shuffler, and of course all 3 runners on base are in Shuffler's responsibility. Tied up at 2. So here we go. Lindsay at the plate, takes a breaking ball at the knees for a strike.
Nice pitch to come out the gates with.
Lindsay a ground out and a walk. He is 0 for 1. Murky at third, Scott at second, Frazier at first. Lowenberg in at first, Divin in at third. At this point, a double play with a run scored will be enough for the Generals. Fastball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Burnett, preventing that from squirting between his legs, and the count is a ball and a strike. Lindsay looking to extend his hitting streak to 5 in a big way. One of the few players who hits better on the road compared to batting at home. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, this one's a bit low, 2-1. So a couple breaking balls and a fastball from Cohen. The 7th appearance on the season for the first-year player. 5.4 ERA in 13 innings. Next pitch, fisted foul back. He jammed Lindsey there, and the count is 2-2.
But you know what? That's what you need there. You need to get strikes, and that foul ball, it's a strike. So now you're evening up at 2-2, bases loaded. Just the one important thing, you cannot walk this batter.
So Shuffler going 5+ innings, and now it's Cohen here trying to get out of the inning. Nobody out, bases packed, and a 2-2 count to the cleanup hitter, Brett Lindsey. So Lindsey looking to do the job of his position. Cohen delivers. Way inside, that almost hit Lindsey. Somehow it missed him. And the count now is full, and you got nowhere to put him. Clouds back out, now the sun behind the clouds, so the field completely shaded. Murky at third, Scott at second, Frazier at first. A walk, a single, error on a bunt, and an intentional walk. 3-2 to count to Lindsey. Cohen kicks and deals. Line drive towards left center field in the gap. It's shallow, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Murky scores. Scott being sent home. The throw comes in. It's cut off. 2 runs score, and the Royals lead 4-2. It wasn't hit hard, but he found some green, and that's what mattered the most.
Yep. You know what? There's not really you could do about that hit. It was a soft, base hit into the left field gap. I mean, when it's in that no man's land type of area, runs are going to come in. I mean, look at the bright side here. At least Cohen now has one man on base as opposed to bases loaded, and now he can focus on generating a double play and getting the team in to go and hit. Frazier
stayed at second, Lindsey now at first, and obviously if you're a batter who had the person in front of him intentionally walked, you want to make sure they pay for not showing enough respect. A bunt laid down by Parrish. Cohen fields it nicely, throws to first, gets the out, but the job is done by Parrish as both runners move up 90 feet, and they're both in scoring position. Cohen backhanding that bunt on the hop.
Number 23, Corey Willis.
So it's a 4-2 ball game here in the top of the 6th. Frazier now at third, Lindsey at second. Now the infield completely in on Corey Willis, the DH. 4-2 Eastern Mennonite. Willis a strikeout and a groundout so far in this game. He's 0 for 2. Time is called for a second as Willis takes a practice swing followed by another half swing. And he's back in the box. Waving the bat behind his head right over his back shoulder. Cohen with the pitch. Fastball outside, a ball on the no strikes. Lindsey with the RBI, 2 RBIs. Now he has 8 on the season. 1 away with 2 in scoring position. The 1-0 pitch. A line drive into center field, another base hit. Frazier scores. Lindsey will be held as the ball is quickly brought back in by Munson, and it's now 5-2 as the Royals have runners in the corners with 1 away.
And again, just like with Scott, it's one of those, nice line drives out there. I'm sorry, with Lindsey, nice line drives out into the. He had left center gap. Now Willis had the right up the middle. So I mean, nothing really could do about those hits. Just got to now focus again. At least now you have the force at first, so you can generate the double play and get out of this inning.
It's the first RBI on the season for Willis, scoring Damon Frazier. Now Lindsey at third, Willis at first. 1 away, and here's Adam Marston. Cohen's first pitch. Fastball at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Now all 3 runners all go to Shuffler. So that puts an end to Shuffler's book today. 5+ innings. 5 runs. After he pitched so well for about 3 1/3, 3 2/3. Cohen decides to go to first, and back is Willis. Marston, a strikeout and a pop-out. He's 0 for 2. Lindsey at third, Willis at first. 5-2 Eastern Mennonite, 3 in the inning. A high pop-up. First base side, foul ground. Lowenberg looking for room at the guardrail, but it's out of his reach. 0-2 the count to Marston. The inning started off with Murky leading off with a walk. Scott a bunt single and an error by Lowenberg moved Murky to third, Scott to second. Frazier intentionally walked, Shuffler taken out of the game. Cohen coming in, Lindsey an RBI single, a 2-run single at that. Parrish a sac bunt, Willis an RBI single. 0-2 the count to Marston with runners on first and third. Cohen taking his time, looks at first and now goes to first again. Willis is 1 for 1 in stolen bases so far this season. Two-strike count to Marston. Now Cohen delivers. A high drive to right field, and that's hit well. Smalley back at the track, at the wall. Makes the running catch, I believe. No, did he drop it? Or did he catch it? Can't hear the call. I guess he didn't catch it. The second base umpire ruled safe, I believe. Nonetheless, a run will score and all of that, that runner being Lindsey. It looked like Smalley might have made the catch.
I thought he did from here. I thought he grabbed it and then hit the wall. Looks like they're going to be talking about it now.
Hopefully Smalley's okay. He ran into the wall,
yeah,
too.
He hit it hard.
Even the infielders are like, what's going on? Divin has Zans out not knowing what's going on. If it is a catch, it should be a sac fly. Looks like no catch.
Wow.
So if that's the case, I'm guessing 2 runs scored?
Yeah, it must have. Within Marston with the double.
Yeah, Marston will get a double in that because Willis, I believe, came around to score as well.
Yeah.
Now Ted White's having a talk with the first base umpire. It's hard to see out there because of the dark warning track being wet.
Yep.
It's darker than normal, and then you got the black fence in the background. It looked like Smalley might have made the catch, but no call was made. And in the last bit or so, the second base umpire, and mind you, there's only 2 umpires in the D3 baseball game. The second base umpire, the field umpire, I should say, had his arms straight out saying no catch. So if no catch is called, that should be a 2-run double from Marston.
And it looks like that's how it's going to end up.
This game is taking quite a twist.
Well, Smalley looks okay out there and right.
So a lot of confusion there. Nonetheless, in all that, the batter is Jalen Lee. Runner on second with 2 away. Fastball is low, ball 1. So it is a sac fly. The catch was made. The throw to second, I guess, is where they were debating. I'm not exactly sure. But it is a sac fly. 2 outs and a runner on second. Swing and a miss in the next pitch, and the count is 1-1. Now we know what happened. They thought that Willis went early, and they were debating on that. That's what the issue was. I must have missed the out call on the play in right field. A ball and a strike now to Jalen Lee. He popped out and lined out. So the runner on second is Willis. Marston gets credit for the sacrifice fly. It's a good play by Smalley. They were just debating to see if Willis went early at first because that could have been an inning-ending double play. 1-1 is a breaking ball, and Lee was way out in front and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. So after all of that, it's 6-2 Eastern Mennonite. They've scored 4 here in the 6th. The only outs have been productive outs, a bunt and a sac fly RBI. The 1-2 pitch, a line drive over Feely in the left field, another hit. Willis will be sent home, and the throw is cut off, and now it's 7-2, and that's 5 in the inning for the Royals.
And you know, that's just a tough play as well, just a few inches over the head of Feely. I mean, really, 2 inches lower, and that would have been an out, and get your boys into the dugout to go hit, but nothing you could do about it.
Marston with the sac fly now has 3 RBIs in the season. Jalen Lee, the RBI single. That is his first RBI on the season. Corey Willis, an RBI earlier, his first of the season as well. So here's Matt Curry, 9th batter up here in the inning. Cohen's pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Curry, a line out to left or to right and to center. He's 0 for 2 and has a strike 1 count.
I believe this is the 9th batter of the inning.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Cohen goes to first now. And back in standing is Lee. Out of the 9 batters, or the 8 batters that came up, 6 of them reached base. The other 2 didn't reach base, but they moved runners up. Another throw to first, and back in is Lee again. Lee has 6 stolen bases on the season in 6 attempts. Strike 1 count. Curry looking for a pitch, and here it comes. And it's popped foul behind the plate, out of play. 0-2 the count. So it's officially closed the book on Shuffler. 5 innings, 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. That first inning and the last inning was where the runs came from. In the middle 4 innings, he did quite a good job. 2 strike count. Cohen again throws to first. This time Lee sliding back to the bag. 7 runs on 6 hits for the Royals. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Generals. Cohen has 2 earned runs against him right now. Strike 2 pitch, and it's off the end of the bat, I believe, and tipped foul back.
Good pitch, good location as well. Again, him swinging definitely outside his comfort zone.
And way ahead of the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a spot where Cohen just really has to bear down and just get a strike in there to either force an out or generate an out through a strikeout.
Murky waiting on deck at the inning continues. The 0-2 again. Ground ball in the right field. Another base hit. This time on a 2-strike count. Ball back in quickly by Smalley. And now the team has batted around. And here's Jacob Murky.
Now batting left fielder, number 8, Jacob Murky.
A walk, a single, an error, an intentional walk, 2 RBI single, sac bunt, RBI single, RBI sac fly, RBI single, and a single. That's how this inning has gone so far. And just to add a little bit more, Cohen unable to receive the ball from Burnett. He dropped it. So now you got Lee at second, Curry at first, and this is where your scoreboard gets messed up because now the team has batted around. Here's Murky. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Murky, a single, a pop out, and a walk came around to score on that walk. So it's 7-2 Royals. 7 hits. Got Lee at second, Curry at first as the line keeps on moving for Eastern Mennonite. Divin in at third, everybody else halfway or back. Volpicelli watching Lee. The 0-1 pitch is popped foul, again behind the screen, not a play. Another 0-2 count for Cohen to work with.
You know, I will say one thing in Cohen's benefit is he's throwing a lot of strikes. The downside is Eastern Mennonite's hitting all of them around the field.
There's a difference between a strike and a quality strike. And Cohen's thrown some quality strikes, but when he needs to get that third strike, he's been unsuccessful. Let alone the third out. Couple looks at Lee at second, the 0-2. It's high. A ball and 2 strikes. 2 RBIs from Lindsay, an RBI by Willis, Marston, and Lee. 5 runs in this inning. The other 2 RBIs way back in the first on the home run by Damon Frazier. Daniel Scott waiting on deck at the inning continues. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. A blooper, shallow center. That ball is actually staying up, but Muntz is having a late time reading it. He dives for it. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. He was having a hard time reading that ball. It wasn't hit hard. He was going back on it, but then at the last second came in and dived for it, and the out call was made, and this time I didn't miss that out call. But the inning comes to an end. 5 runs for Eastern Mennonite. They lead 7-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back here in the bottom of the 6th inning in Lexington, and what happened was an eternal top of the 6th inning. 5 runs for Eastern Mennonite. They forced Shuffler out, and Nick Cohen having a hard time trying to get out of the jam himself. Now the Generals looking to respond, down by 5, and Zach Lowenberg leading off. He takes a fastball that just missed a bit outside from the starter, Campbell. 1-0. Lowenberg so far a ground out and a line out. Fastball even further outside, and the count is 2-0.
After that last half inning, the Generals really need to generate some runs here.
They scored a run the 3rd and the 4th each. 2-0 pitch is low, and now you got a 3-0 count on Lowenberg. 5 runs on 5 hits in the top of the 6th for Eastern Mennonite. The 3-0 is taken all the way for a strike at the knees. There was also an error back at the top of the 6th, and that error was by Lowenberg. 3-1 delivery is low, and that's a walk to lead off the inning.
Campbell was working very fast there at the end.
Now batting.
I mean, he'd be set before Lowenberg was ready to go back into the box. It was, you know, catch throwing the ball back. Campbell's set, ready to go next pitch again.
Both bullpens are busy right now. You can see Jackson Thigpen, I believe, in the Generals bullpen. Here's Chadwick Feely now. Eastern Mennonite had 10 batters up in the top half of the 6th. Campbell, the starter, looking to complete his 6th inning of work. Feely 0 for 2, breaking ball low and away. A ball and a strike. A ball and no strikes, pardon me. A fly out to right and a fly out to center field for Chadwick. Feely hasn't had much success against Eastern Mennonite pitching. Fastball low, kicks off some dirt, and the count is 2-0 to Chadwick. Against Eastern Mennonite, Chadwick is 4 for 20, if you include today's game. It's a 200 average. Batting 300 in the month of March after going 378 in February. The 2-0 is a one-hopper back to the mound. Campbell has it, throws to second, gets the out there, a late throw to first after a late slide by Lowenberg, and Lowenberg able to break out the double play with the slide. Frazier gets the force at second. It's a fielder's choice for Chadwick Feely.
Batting, the center
but we know Chadwick's not going to be
number
happy about that.
14, Ryan Munson.
So here's Ryan Munson now, a strikeout and a ground out. Lowenberg stands at first, or excuse me, Lowenberg was at first, got forced out. Now Feely stands at first with some speed. As the fastball is in the dirt, Parrish didn't know where it was. It got all the way by him. Feely thought about going all the way to third, but puts on the brakes by sliding to one knee and goes back to second.
Yeah, Parrish didn't even know that ball went behind him. Those dugouts started yelling.
Now will it be scored a pass ball or a wild pitch is yet to be seen. Looked like that just went right in between the legs of Parrish. It was a fastball at that. It's a pass ball on Parrish. Allowing Feely to go to second. 1-0 to Munson. Line drive slice into left field. Murky going back makes the catch, and Feely holds at second. He wasn't tagging up. And there's 2 away.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 18, Paul Divin.
Here's one of the bright spots for the Generals on offense. Paul Divin has 2 of the hits out of 4. A single and a double. Inning started off with a walk by Lowenberg. Feely forced out Lowenberg at second on the fielder's choice. Munson a fly out to left after Feely went to second on a pass ball. 7-2 Eastern Mennonite here in the bottom of the 6th, 2 down. First pitch to Divin is a fastball low.
We've seen 4 of those in a row just this inning.
Waiting on deck at the inning goes on is Roby Smalley. The 1-0 is a strike on the inside corner. 1-1 the count. Campbell last inning forced a 3-up, 3-down frame on the Generals. 1-1 is a breaking ball right on the corner, down and away. Is a good pitch. 1-2 the count.
Campbell's doing an excellent job of keeping everything low.
The junior from Luray, Virginia, looking to complete 6 innings in what would currently be a quality start. 1-2, breaking ball low. Divin thought about it, appealed to the field umpire, no swing. And it didn't look like he swung. 2-2. So far in 5 2/3 for Campbell, he's gotten 5 strikeouts. 2-2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. 6 strikeouts in 6 innings.
Bottom of the 6th for the Generals, no runs on no hits.
6 innings of work completed. Eastern Mennonite leads 7-2 as the Generals get no runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left on second. A theme this season has been that the Generals have allowed 1 bad inning during a game that makes a difference. And right now that's happened after allowing 5 runs in the top of the 6th. They fall behind 7-2 against Eastern Mennonite as we work the top of the 7th now with Daniel Scott, Damon Frazier, and Brett Lindsay due up. Jackson Thigpen is now the pitcher in for Nate Cohen. And the last time Thigpen was up to pitch, it was rough for him. First ball swing is belted but hooked foul down the right field line. 0-1 the count to Daniel Scott. Scott, a fielder's choice, reached on an error and a bunt single later coming around to score. Thigpen, the sophomore, delivers a pitch in the dirt, a ball and a strike to count. Thigpen, the sophomore from Potomac, Maryland, 6 foot 185. The righty with an even stance deals a nice breaking ball in the outside corner for a strike. 1-2. Give you the final line on Nate Cohen in a second. A ball and 2 strikes to Mr. Scott. The wind and the pitch. Breaking ball and a line drive to left. Staying up, though. Easy play for Dyke. He makes the grab. 1 away.
And after that previous inning the Generals had out in defense, getting the first batter out is a big morale boost.
Nate Cohen, an inning of work. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Came in for Shuffler, and now Thigpen comes in for Nate Cohen. Here's Damon Frazier now. 1 down, nobody on here in the top of the 7th. Thigpen's fastball misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. And I mentioned for Thigpen, it was rough his last time on the mound because he was at the mound when he got the loss in Virginia Wesleyan's walk-off win. Check swing on a pitch up high, appeal to first, no swing. 2-0 as Thigpen was hoping to get the call to go his way. Thigpen allowed 2 walks, didn't record an out, allowed 1 hit, and got the loss despite no earned runs. It's a pretty rough situation for Thigpen. Of course, Virginia Wesleyan's going forward to win that game in the bottom of the 9th. Fastball at the knees for a strike, 2-1 the count to Damon Frazier. Frazier, a 2-run homer, a ground out, and an intentional walk came all the way around the score. Brett Lindsay waiting on deck. 2-1 is a fastball inside, 3-1.
Marshall Dykes playing practically at the warning track over in left field.
It's about the deepest I've seen anybody in the Generals outfield do. Next pitch, and that one is hammered deep down the left field line. Ferret's gone. She's gone. And that's why they had Dyke playing back there.
Yep.
But nobody could get that. It was a matter if it would stay fair or foul. It was hooking down the line. That's the second 2-home run game for Damon Frazier this season. He has 4 homers overall and 2 from 2 games.
Just like the first home run, the second that thing went off the bat, you could tell, oh, wow, that's going deep. And that it did.
So 3 RBIs on the day for Frazier. And here's Brett Lindsay. 8-2 now, Eastern Mennonite here in the top of the 7th. Thigpen's first pitch, foul straight back, and that's headed towards me, but there's a screen the way. 0-1. Brett Lindsay from Gloucester High School. Usually teams have to find a way of bonding during a season as Lindsay takes a breaking ball for a strike. Brett Lindsay back in high school said the way he bonded with his teammates was through chicken wing eating contests.
Well, that's certainly one way to bond with your teammates.
I don't know how other teammates bond, but that's about the best way you can do it. 0-2 is high and tight, a ball and 2 strikes. He would host those tournaments in his house, chicken wing eating contests and ping pong tournaments, to bring his team together.
Now, are those like as many wings as you could eat or the hottest wings you could eat?
Either way, I can't imagine. Breaking ball fouled off outside of third. 1-2 still to Lindsay. Nonetheless, it must have been a good time. How do you bond with your teammates? Probably not as creative.
No, I gotta, tip my hat to him. That is definitely a very creative way to do it.
1 down, nobody on. A ball and 2 strikes to Lindsay, who chops one to the right side of second. Bo Pacelli takes on 2 hops, plants his feet and throws to first in time for the second out. So 2 away. And here's Justin Parrish.
Batting the catcher, number 28, Justin Parrish.
Eastern Mennonite, another run on the board. A solo home run by Frazier, a 2-home run game for Damon, and 3 RBIs. Here's Justin Parrish now. A ground out, a pop out and foul ground after a nice catch by Divin. and then a sack bunt. He's 0 for 2. First home run that Thigpen has allowed this season. Only his 3rd appearance of the season, 1 full inning of work. Breaking ball, a strike on the inside corner to Parrish. An inning, 1 hit allowed, 2 walks so far for Thigpen in 2 appearances. And the 1 loss on the walk-off against Virginia Wesleyan. Breaking ball again at the knees, called a strike. All of a sudden, Parrish behind now in a 2-strike count.
Thigpen's breaking ball has a really nice drop to it.
Time is called just as Thigpen was about to deliver. And John, you're a pitcher yourself, and that's got to be frustrating when you have to stop in the middle of your windup like that.
Yep, no, mentally you're prepared, your body's set, you're ready to go, and then all of a sudden, well, abrupt stopped.
Especially when you have an 0-2 count, you're working a quick pace. Fastball high and tight on Parrish, 1-2 the count. Smalley playing very shallow in right field. 8-2 Royals, 2 in the first, 5 in the 6th, 1 the 7th. Breaking ball this one in the dirt, 2-2. The Generals 1 run the 3rd and in the 4th. If the inning rolls on, Corey Willis waiting on deck. Thigpen's 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, ground ball, shortstop side. Feely has it, pumps and throws high. Lowenberg tries to stay on the bag and does. Nicely done. And the side is retired, but another run on the board. Damon Frazier, his 2nd home run of the game, a solo shot to left field, puts the Royals up by a score of 8-2. 7th inning stretch time. We'll be back after the stretch. Back here at Lexington, Bontatufo alongside John Harashinsky. I would spell Harashinsky for you, but I won't.
I don't blame you.
It is 8-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Hope you enjoyed your stretch. Playing Sweet Caroline on the speakers, which is nice for one of our colleagues who used to work for the Red Sox organization. It's her favorite song as she rolls her eyes next to me. Here's Roby Smalley leading off for the Generals. As they trail 8-2, he takes a pitch that just misses a bit outside. Smalley, a fielder's choice and RBI single. He is 1 for 2. Still Campbell pitching on the mound, trying to complete his 7th inning of work as he deals a pitch further outside this time, and the count is 2-0. You got Murky in left field playing fairly shallow. 2-0 taken all the way, a strike over the plate at the knees, 2-1.
And that marks the 90th pitch by Campbell on the day.
And that is some very solid efficiency. 2-1 pitch is tipped foul back off the screen, 2-2. As you mentioned, 15 pitches per inning.
Mm-hmm.
So after 6, you should throw 90 pitches.
Yep. So he is right on target. In fact, just a little bit underneath.
Infield tugged a bit to the right, expecting Smalley to pull, as that breaking ball doesn't do much breaking. It's outside, and the count is full to Smalley. Smalley, Burnett, and Dyke due up. The windup and the 3-2. Line drive past second baseman Curry and in the right center field for a base hit. Scott will bring it back in, and Smalley gets his second hit of the game.
Now batting.
You know what they say, you got to start somewhere.
Yes, you do.
Second straight inning, the leadoff man has reached base. Last inning, it was a leadoff walk by Lowenberg that was nullified by fielder's choice from Feely. So here's Bryce Burnett. Fielder's choice and a strikeout. From the stretch, Campbell delivers a strike at the knees. Usually it seems like when Burnett gets a hit in the game, it's a multi-hit game. He's only had 3 games with a hit, and 2 of those have been 3-hit games. Double play depth in the infield. The next one is slapped foul out of play down the right field line. And Burnett, again, behind in the count, 0-2. Bottom of the 7th, 8-2 Eastern Mennonite. Both teams looking for their first conference win, their first win in a while period. Strike 2 delivers a fastball high. A ball and 2 strikes. These two teams will play each other again on the 28th at Eastern Mennonite. As the 1-2 pitch, the check swing, breaking ball in the dirt, appeal to the field umpire, no swing. 2-2. Tough angle for the field umpire anyway to decipher whether that was a swing or not.
Yep.
Now these two teams had their game at Eastern Mennonite postponed because Harrisonburg got 7 inches of snow. Well, we got 4 or 5 here. 2-2 pitch is a pop-up. Shallow right down the line. Long run for Scott and Marston. And it's going to be Scott making the running catch in foul ground to make the catch. 1 away.
And for Eastern Mennonite, that's a big play as well because now you just activate the double play to get you out of the inning. So really, if Campbell could generate a ground ball somewhere in the infield, you have the chance for that double play and the inning at 4 batters, 3 batters and go hit.
Dyke stepping in now with 1 down and a runner on first. That's Smalley after a leadoff single. Wind blowing out a bit towards left field. The first pitch to Dyke is a strike with the breaking ball. Back to some normal weather here at Lexington. Hope you enjoyed your last week of winter and the first week of spring, which I don't know what season those 2 weeks were. We've had windstorms, snowstorms, thunderstorms, you name it. Fastball high and tight. The only thing we're missing are sandstorms and tornadoes right now.
Yeah, it's been a very weird week here on campus, that's for sure.
A ball and a strike to Marshall Dyke. Double, a run scored, and a strikeout. Fastball called a strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Did Washington and Lee have any snow day this past week?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
No cancellation, no snow day, and essentially any other school in the I-81 corridor had their school off or delayed.
The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball fouled back out of play behind the plate. It's interesting because being from Maryland, everybody's on spring break this week, and it figures that the one time we have our first snowstorm of the winter, they're on spring break, so it wouldn't make a difference. A ball and 2 strikes to count to Marshall Dyke, and it is low, 2-2. And of course, chance of snow this upcoming weekend.
Yep. Tomorrow night.
Whether we get 1 inch or 6 inches is yet to be seen. The 2-2 is fouled back again as Dyke continues to fight here against Campbell. Inning started off with a leadoff walk or leadoff single by Smalley. Burnett popped out in foul ground to right field. And now Dyke facing a 2-2 count after multiple foul balls. Campbell from the stretch, breaking ball, a towering fly ball, hooking down the left field line. It's foul. Lindsey trying to go get it, but it falls in front. And once again, we'll try it again at 2-2.
And Dyke's having a really productive at-bat in the sense he's making Campbell work. He's making him continue to throw pitches when his pitch count is already really high. I mean, he's venturing almost into the 100s at this point.
Got 2 pitchers in the bullpen for Eastern Mennonite. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Marshall Dyke. And what has been a lengthy at-bat. Still just 1 out. And it's fouled out of play right side. So here we go again. Should have kept the tally on how many pitches so far in this at-bat. And the thing is that Marshall still has a ball in hand. It's 2-2. Campbell will try again. Here it comes. Check swing on the breaking ball. It's low. And the count is full.
Good hold right there. Looked pretty close, but Dyke knew it wasn't there.
And you have to think Campbell's leash has got to be a little bit shorter now with this lengthy at bat.
Yep.
As he tries to complete 7. The 3-2. Ah, he got him swinging on an inside fastball. A half-hearted swing by Dyke, and he's down. Good battle, but
Now
Campbell
batting,
came out on top.
The designated hitter, number 3, Austin Crane.
Seven strikeouts now for Mr. Campbell in 6 2/3. Smalley at first, and here's Austin Crane, the number 9 hitter. Fastball taken for a strike. Crane a sac bunt, and then he struck out on 3 pitches.
That is pitch number 109 for Campbell, so I think this will be his last batter of the day.
0-1 count, here it comes. Is outside. Crane not thinking about swinging. And the throw from the catcher Parrish, again, Campbell drops it. Seems like we've seen more drops out of pitcher today on throws back from the catcher. Bo Picelli waiting on deck as the inning continues. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 8-2 Royals. 1-1 delivery is just a bit low at the fastball. 2-1. Just eclipsing 2 hours of game time. 2 hours and 5 minutes to be exact. The 2-1 pitch, line drive, left field, base hit for Crane. Smalley goes to second, the ball brought back in by Murky.
Now batting, the second baseman.
Nice easy base
number
hit over in the
7,
shallow left field.
Jason Volpicelli.
Hopefully the Generals will capitalize on this and generate a run or two. Maybe cut down that score.
So Crane getting 3 hits now in his last 3 games after going 2 for 8 against Virginia Wesleyan with 2 RBIs. In fact, those 2 hits both came in the second game of the doubleheader. Bo Picelli in, takes a fastball for a strike with 2 on and 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Generals down 8-2. Bo Picelli a strikeout, a sac fly, and a flyout. Oh and 1. The pitch. Breaking ball, and that just missed inside. It was a good pitch by Campbell, just didn't get the call. Volpicelli batting just 176 in ODAC play so far. Better hitter at home, 389. Pitch miss-ups high, 2-1. Jason has struggled a bit in the month of March. He started off 333 in February, now he's batting 265 this month. 2-1 delivery, inside out swing, and it's fouled off over the Generals dugout. 2-2. Got Smalley at second, Crane at first, with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Campbell the starter for Eastern Mennonite. Looking to close out what is likely to be a fantastic outing in his second start of the season. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got another one to dirt. Parrish makes the play at first, and the side is retired. 8 strikeouts for Campbell in 7 innings. 2 singles, but they come up empty. It's 8-2 as we've completed 7 innings of work. Eastern Mennonite out in front. 7 innings down, 2 more to go. Barring a comeback from the Generals, it's 8-2 Eastern Mennonite. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Royals. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Generals. And John, for the Royals, they couldn't ask for much more from their starter Campbell.
No, he had a really great outing. I mean, giving you 7 complete innings. Not that, only allowing, 2 runs. That is a great day.
Willis will be leading off for Eastern Mennonite, followed by Marston and Lee. First ball swinging, a bouncer backhanded by Volpicelli, second base side, and he makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out, and the pitcher, didn't even get a chance to introduce him yet, is Chris Cotton.
Now batting the first baseman, number 22, Adam Marston.
Chris Cotton, right-handed pitcher. First appearance since March 6th for Cotton when he faced against Southern Virginia. Won 1 inning, 3 hits, 1 earned run. So here's Adam Marston now, who swings from the first pitch himself. A hard ground ball off of Volpicelli, and it trickles a bit to his right into the outfield grass. And that's going to be an error, I believe, on Volpicelli, his 2nd error of the game.
Now batting the center fielder.
Yeah, Cotton has that nice sidearm delivery as well, which can be a nice shakeup from the previous 3 pitchers the General have had, who's all going, over the top, about 11 o'clock delivery, whereas you have Cotton coming in, he's trying to throw at that 3 o'clock angle.
Cotton coming in for Jackson Thigpen, who pitched 1 inning. Jalen Lee swinging at a pitch that came in on him and missing, 0-1. Jackson Thigpen, an inning, a hit, the solo home run by Damon Frazier. After that, he retired the next 2 batters he faced. 0-1 count to Mr. Lee. Breaking ball ripped, and that's a base hit as it's lined in the left field. That breaking ball stayed up, and Lee was all over it. So 2 hits in the last 2 at-bats for Jalen. Marston goes to second. Here's Matt Curry.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Matt Curry.
Curry, a couple lineouts and a single. He's 1 for 3. Marston now at second, Lee at first. 1 down here in the top of the 8th. 8-2, Royals up in front. Cotton's fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
Looked to be a 2-seam, had a little bit of movement at the end.
4 innings so far this season for Cotton, 2 earned runs. Strike 1 count to Curry. Breaking ball, a strike on the inside corner. And that caught Curry by surprise as well. Strike 2 count. Cotton a look at second, kicks and deals. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Jacob Murky waiting on deck at the inning continues barring a double play. A ball and 2 strikes. Volpicelli watching Marston at second. Cotton's delivery, a line drive again to left field. This one will drop for a base hit. Marston will be held at third as the ball is quickly brought back in by Dyke, who almost threw it away. Burnett had to dive to stop the ball with the padding on his chest. So now you got the bases loaded with just 1 away.
And we've seen 2 of those soft base hits in the left, right in a row. So now you got bases loaded, 1 out, and really Cotton needs to generate at least a ground ball to get the double play.
And the middle infield is in double play depth. Corner infielders playing in. A ground out by Willis, an error, 2 singles after that. So here's Murky in the top of the lineup. He takes a pitch low, ball 1. A single, a pop out, a walk, a run scored, and a fly out. Murky is 1 for 3 on the day. He came up twice back in the 6th. Cotton's 1-0 delivery. Right down the middle for a strike. 1-1. Waiting on deck is Daniel Scott. Next pitch, a line drive right to Volpicelli, and he will step on second to get the double play as Lee left the bag. That's one way to get out of the jam. No runs scored on that. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. On to the bottom of the 8th we go. The Eastern Mennonite Royals lead the Washington Lee Generals by a score of 8-2. Back here at Lexington, bottom half of the 8th inning. So far in this game, Eastern Mennonite 2 runs in the first. The Generals had 1 in the 3rd and then 1 the 4th to tie it up. And then a 5 spot in the top of the 6th by the Royals, followed by 1 run the 7th, puts them up 8-2. 2 home run game for Damon Frazier, 3 RBIs. New pitcher on the mound now, it's John Judy, who deals a fastball low and away to Zach Lowenberg, and Judy coming in for Tyler Campbell, John, who did a fantastic work.
Yeah, no, he really had a great outing today. I mean, 2 runs earned, but still, the longest inning he had 5 batters throughout the whole game. I believe he had 2 of those innings, 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 4th. So overall, very effective, finishing with 117 total pitches, and we'll talk more about that after the game, I'm sure.
Fastball, a strike to Lowenberg. Now the 1-1 pitch tails outside, and the count is 2-1. 8 strikeouts for Mr. Campbell, which goes with the theme of him being a strikeout pitcher. Just 1 walk as well. 2-1 is ripped in the right center, and that's a base hit for Lowenberg, and the leadoff man gets on. Ball brought back in by Jalen Lee, and Lowenberg gets his first hit of the game.
Now
it's a nice solid hit right over the right side gap.
Number 8, Chadwick Feely.
John Judy is a catcher and a pitcher for Eastern Mennonite. You don't see those very often.
No, that's a very interesting combo.
He actually went 1 for 3 against number 9 Roanoke back on the 18th. Facing off here against Chadwick Feely now. First pitch almost hit Feely. High and up to the shoulders, very tight. 1-0 count. Chadwick flat out to right, flat out to center, and ground into a fielder's choice. 1-0 count. Close stance for the pitcher Judy, and a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. A ball and a strike, and waiting on deck is Ryan Munson. Third straight inning the leadoff man has gotten on for the Generals. The 1-1 again inside as Feely takes a little half hop back. 2-1. John Judy making his 5th appearance of the season. This is his first bullpen appearance. His first 4 appearances were all starts. Breaking ball just missed a bit high, if anywhere. 3-1 to Feely.
They had a pretty noticeable 12-6 movement going on.
6.32 ERA for Judy in his 4 starts. A 2-0 record despite that ERA. 3-1 delivery, and it's popped behind the plate. Foul, out of play. Full count to Feely.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that curveball again.
Especially to a good hitter like Feely, who's in a bit of a slump. Payoff pitch, fastball, and it's popped up. Foul ground. Is it playable? First base side. Marston has room, makes the catch just shy of the warning track towards General's dugout. First out of the inning.
Batting, the center fielder, number 14, Ryan Munson.
Ryan Munson up to bat now. Lowenberg at first with one down. 8-2 Royals here in the bottom of the 8th. Judy's first pitch, the fastball outside. Ball 1.
And we've seen Judy start off all 3 batters sitting with that first pitch ball, so just continuing the pattern.
In his last start, 5 innings, 2 earned runs for Judy. Next pitch, a strike at the knees, 1-1 as the sun peeks back out again with a nice gold glow on the field. The shade kind of splattered around right field. A ball and a strike to Munson. Here's the pitch. Right on the corner, down and in for a strike. Looked like an off-speed pitch from Judy. Now Munson behind 1-2, and Munson has struck out, grounded out, and flied out so far today. Lowenberg just standing at first after the leadoff single. Feely popping out foul ground as Judy throws to first, and Lowenberg gets some dirt in his jersey now as he slides back in. Paul Divin waiting on deck. 1-2 count to Munson with 1 away. A long look in from Judy and the pitch. Fouled away left side, now to play. Eastern Mennonite will be facing off against Emory and Henry tomorrow. That's going to be a doubleheader at 12 o'clock in Harrisonburg. Next pitch is outside, tailing away from the lefty Munson. 2-2 the count. So both teams will be busy tomorrow with doubleheaders. Generals will have to play at 10 a.m. And that's going to be at Lynchburg. 2-2 pitch, ground ball, 1 hop. It goes over the diving Curry in the right center field. Lowenberg tripped going over second, but he's back to the bag, and there's 2 on now.
And another very hard hit ball up the right side.
It was odd, though, because Curry dove for it, and the ball bounced over him. I've never seen a diving player have a ball bounce over him before. I think he didn't expect the high hop.
Yeah, nonetheless, Munson had some really good bat speed on that thing. I mean, that bat went like supersonic through the strike zone.
So 2 singles in the inning with a pop foul out in between. Here's Paul Divin with a chance to dent into the 6-run deficit. Divin's had a good day. Single, double, run scored. He struck out his last time up. Lowenberg at second, Munson at first with 1 away. The first pitch, breaking ball, a strike on the outside corner. It's 11-5 curveball, looks like they're from John Judy. 0-1 count. Got Roby Smalley waiting on deck, barring a double play. Both infielders watching Lowenberg at second. The pitch is in the dirt. 1-1 the count.
And Judy really seems to be keeping the balls low and outside.
Judy did face Washington Lee once, last season on March 22nd. Just a third of an inning, 3 runs, 1 earned on 2 hits and a walk. Next pitch, fastball in the dirt, 2-1. Judy also was a basketball and golf player in Hampshire High School. Sophomore from Shanks, West Virginia, 5'11", 185. Again, your unusual catcher-pitcher player. Next pitch, turned on and hooked foul down the left field line. That pitch was way inside, and Divin somehow was able to turn on it, but there was no way you can keep that one fair. 2-2. 10 hits for the Royals. Generals have a total of 8. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing down the dirt. Second straight time Divin has struck out, and there's 2 away with 2 on for Smalley.
And again, Judy's keeping that ball low and away, and on that payoff pitch there, that ball was essentially almost in the dirt. So that definitely seems to be his niche out there.
So here's Roby Smalley with Lowenberg at second, Munson at first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th, 8-2 Eastern Mennonite. The first pitch is a breaking ball just a bit low and a bit outside. 1-0 count. Smalley a fielder's choice, an RBI single, followed by a leadoff single in the 7th, but ended up stranded at second. The 1-0 delivery from Judy. Fastball. This one misses outside as well. 2 different pitches in the same spot, same call, 2-0.
He definitely likes to live there on that low and outside corner.
Two balls and no strikes. You got Burnett waiting on deck with his catcher's gear on. Pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner. Smalley took that one all the way, and the count is 2-1. Big gap in left center field for Smalley. Second baseman Curry's in the outfield grass practically. The 2-1's a breaking ball. This one in the dirt. 3-1 now to Roby. The lights are on as the sun continues to set. Looks like the wind might be blowing out a bit towards right field instead of blowing in from right field. The 3-1 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Full count to Smalley. Both runners will be going. 3-2 count with 2 down. Lowenberg, the second base runner, trying to encourage his teammate Smalley at the plate as he faces a full count. Payoff pitch is inside. That's a walk, and the Generals load him up.
Good plate discipline out there by Smalley to wait back and wait for the pitch and let it go if it wasn't good, which we saw on that last pitch. I mean, we've always said Judy's been living on that low and outside corner, and Judy did give him some low and outside on that one, but he knew to hold up and let it go past to get the walk and have the result be bases loaded.
Bases loaded for Bryce Burnett, who's grounded to a fielder's choice, struck out, and popped out in foul ground. Fastball misses low in the dirt. Ball 1 to Burnett. You got Lowenberg at third, Munson at second, Smalley at first. One-0 count to Burnett. You got Dyke waiting on deck. 2 down. The pitch in the dirt, stopped on a hop there by Parrish, and the count is 2-0. So far, a leadoff single by Lowenberg, a foul pop-out by Thiele, single by Munson, strikeout by Divin, and a walk by Smalley. So it hasn't been exactly easy for John Judy. 2-0 count, the pitch, and that just missed somewhere, maybe a bit low. 3-0 count to Burnett. You have to be almost certain you would think he'd take this pitch. The 3-0 pitch. In the dirt, and the Generals get a run on a walk. Lowenberg will score. Everybody else moves 90 feet, and now it's an 8-3 ball game. And Burnett gets the RBI. Now we're going to have a meeting at the mound. We'll see if that's it for John Judy. I mean, looks like one of the pitchers in the bullpen is ready. It's going to be Marshall Dyke coming up to bat. Munson moves to third. Smalley moves to second. And then you got Burnett at first. So in Burnett's last 2 appearances, 6 RBIs. 5 in the last game he played way back against Penn State Harrisburg. And then the RBI here on the bases loaded walk. So 2 walks and 2 singles for the Generals. They trail 8-3, and that's going to be it for John Judy. We'll give it a new pitcher for Eastern Mennonite when we come back. Bases loaded, 2 down in the bottom of the 8th, 8-3 Royals. Things are getting a little bit interesting here at Lexington. It's 8-3 Royals, but the Generals have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 away. Bases loaded walk by Burnett, and now here's Marshall Dyke with a chance with one big swing to put it within 1 as Michael Wilhite steps up to the mound in place of John Judy, who allowed a couple hits and a couple walks.
And Judy finished with 31 pitches in 2/3 of an inning, which with your 15 pitch average per inning is certainly over that 15. In fact, it's a double of what you'd expect.
Munson at third, Smalley at second, Burnett at first. The first pitch to Dyke, fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Marshall a double, a run scored, and 2 strikeouts after that. 8-3, Eastern Mennonite. If Wilhite stays in the game, it's a safe situation. Breaking ball at the knees called a strike. 0-2. Safe situation because the tying run is on deck, and that tying run is Crane. 2-strike count quickly to Dyke. Try and make quick work of him to pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Wilhite makes quick work of Dyke, to say the least. Got him on 3 pitches. So 1 run scores in the base-loaded walk by Burnett. They got 2 hits, 2 walks, and they leave him loaded. On to the top of the 9th we go. The Royals out of the jam with minimal damage. They lead 8-3. Fifth pitcher for the Generals coming up now. It's Chase
Leading off the top of the
Fleming,
ninth for Eastern Mennonite,
who'll be coming
fourth
in
fielder,
for
number
Chris
18,
Cotton.
Daniel Scott.
Here in the top of the ninth, it's 8-3 Eastern Mennonite. Chase Fleming, one of the first-year pitchers for the Generals. Left-handed pitcher, 6'1", 185. The first pitch to Scott, a fly ball to right center field. On his horse is Smalley to his right. He makes the catch. I didn't even get a chance to tell you this thing about Daniel Scott. His on-base percentage is pretty high. It's not because of walks. We've only played,
Now
what,
batting
17 games this season?
Yep.
Damon
Scott's been
Frazier.
hit 8 times.
Wow. That kid's a ball magnet.
In a bad way.
Yeah.
You want the bat to be the magnet,
Yeah.
not the person. He's been hit 8 times this season.
Wow.
He's out on the first pitch. And now here's Damon Frazier, who's been hitting the ball out. 2 home runs today. A 2-run shot in the first, solo home run. His last time up in the 7th, a ground out, an intentional walk, and a run scored in between. 1-0 count. Fleming delivers. It is high. 2-0.
Fleming's working pretty fast here, getting set even before Frazier's ready to get in the box.
Can't blame him trying to disrupt Frazier's timing, because when he's timing it right, we've seen the result. 2-0 pitch, the chopper to the whole left side, and that gets through. He rolled over that pitch and gets a base hit nonetheless, his 3rd hit of the game. It wasn't hit hard, but he found the hole.
He's having a good day offensively.
3 hits, 2 homers, and an intentional walk.
Now batting the third baseman, number 2, Brett Lindsay.
So here's Brett Lindsay now, the man who hosts a chicken wing eating contest.
I'm still in awe about this. That's a very creative way of bonding with your teammates.
So Chase Fleming coming in for Chris Cotton, who pitched last inning. Cotton 1 inning, 2 hits, that's it. Fastball in the dirt to Brett Lindsay, ball 1. Fourth appearance in the season for Chase Fleming. An inning and a third, 2 earned runs so far. Next pitch is high with what looked like a breaking ball, and the count is 2-0. Lindsay, a ground out, a walk, a single, 2 RBIs in that single, scored later on, and a ground out. Two-0 count. You got Frazier standing at first with 1 away. Top of the 9th, 8-3. Fastball, fly ball, right field, and that's hit pretty good. Smalley racing all the way back, reaching up, and he's able to make the catch on the run, forcing Frazier to go back to first. And Smalley's had quite a busy day over there. Made a sliding catch, made a diving catch, ran into the wall on a catch, and now makes the running
batting
grab
catcher,
here.
number 28, Justin Parrish.
He's definitely getting his workout out there in right field today. That's for sure.
Now here comes Ted White. He's going to jog up, and that's going to be it for Chase Fleming. So you're going to have your 6th pitcher coming up for the Generals. So Chase is done. Did get 2 outs despite the single allowed, so you can say he got the job done.
Yes,
We'll give you a new pitcher for the Generals. 8-3 in the top of the 9th. Runner on first and 2 down. The batter coming up is Justin Parrish. in the top of the 9th inning here at Lexington. 8-3 Royals. Runner on first, that is Damon Frazier. And now Matt Whiteley making only his 2nd pitching appearance of the season, first at home. Most of his playing time has come in left field, but now he's on the mound, and he'll be facing off against Justin Parrish, the catcher, looking for the final out of the 9th. The right-handed pitcher delivers a strike with the fastball. Parrish, a ground out, a pop foul out, a sac bunt, and a ground out. Put it simple, he's 0 for 3. Strike 1 delivery is a bit low. 1-1. Daniel Scott led off by flying out to right. Damon Frazier, a chopper that got through the whole left side for a single. Brett Lindsay flied out to right on a running catch. Runner goes. The pitch is low. Burnett throw to second is a good one. The tag. Got him! Burnett's done that a couple times this season. And poor Parrish didn't even get a chance to do anything at the plate. We head to the bottom of the 9th. 5-run deficit for the Generals. 8-3 as the Royals get 1 hit and leave none. Bottom half of the 9th inning here at Captain Dick Smith Field. 8-3 Royals. The Royals 2 runs in the first, 5 in the 6th, 1 the 7th. The Generals 1 in the 3rd, 4th, and 8th. 2 home run game for Damon Frazier. And Tyler Campbell, the starter, going 7 strong innings, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, and 1 walk. New pitcher now, it's Ryan Brewer, and he'll be facing off against Austin Crane, who takes a fastball at the knees for a strike.
He's coming right out of the gate with the first pitch strike, really setting the tempo early.
Came in for Will Hyde, who got the 1 out on Dyke with the bases loaded last inning. Crane swings for the fences and misses the pitch. It was an off-speed delivery that he was out ahead of, and the count is 0-2. Sack bunt, strikeout, and a single for Austin. Brewer, who's normally the closer, coming in a non-safe situation. Swing and a miss on a pitch high and tight, and Crane, for the 2nd time today, is down on 3 pitches.
Now batting.
Brewer was working very fast that entire at-bat. I mean, the ball's back to him, and boom, 5 seconds later, he is ready to go again.
It's his 9th appearance of the season. In his previous 8, he's only allowed a run in 2 of those appearances.
Wow.
But his last appearance was the roughest one. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and a walk against Virginia Wesleyan. Here's Jason Volpicelli, who takes a strike at the knees. Strikeout, sac fly RBI, fly out, and a strikeout. Very rarely does Volpicelli strike out, let alone twice in 1 game. 0-1 delivery, curve, a strike. 0-2.
It's 5 strikes in a row for Brewer.
Volpicelli's strikeouts, both coming on breaking balls that he chased down and away. Zach Lowenberg waiting on deck. The 0-2 pitch just misses low, and that's the good eye we see from Volpicelli usually, especially with that fastball just missing the corner, and he didn't even bother trying to take it and swing at it. Big gap in left center field as the outfielders play shallow. 1-2 is reached out for a slow ground ball to Curry in the right side. He fields and throws, and just like that, the Generals are down to their last out.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Almost looked like a golf
number
swing out there.
19, Zach
Hitting it very low in the zone.
Lowenberg.
Let's close the door on John Judy. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, an earned run, and 2 walks, 1 strikeout. As I mentioned, Will Hite gained the final out of the last inning, striking out Marshall Dyke. Here's Zach Lowenberg, who takes a strike at the knees. 0-1. 8-3. Bottom of the 9th. Nobody on. 2 down. 0-1 count to Lowenberg. Zach got a single his last time up and came around to score. Next pitch in the dirt, right between the legs of Parrish into the backstop. 1-1 count. A ground out, line out, walk, and a single for Lowenberg. He's 1 for 3. Just around his average of .326. Brewer, the righty, delivers, and it's fouled away. 4 saves on the season for Ryan Brewer. He started his career at Eastern Mennonite as a starter, where he made 9 starts in 2016, just 3 in 2017, and now it's all been relief appearances this year. Fastball tailing away from Lowenberg, and the count is 2-2. 1-0 record on the season for Brewer, last season in his 3 starts. The 2-2 pitch, ground ball sharply hit up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Lowenberg, 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats. And here's Chadwick Feely.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 8.
Nice hard ground ball up the middle.
Feely.
Brewers had a bit of a rough March. The ERA stat is misleading for a closer like him, but just using it for this purpose, .96 ERA in February, 6.75 ERA in March. And he's made few appearances in March compared to February. He's pitched well on the road, though. 4 2/3 innings on the road, just 1 earned run. So here's Feely now, who's looking for a solid ending to a tough game. Lowenberg bluffs on the steal, fastball misses up, and the count is 1-0. Feely a fly out to right and to center, a fielder's choice, and he popped out in foul ground to first. So he's 2 for his last 20. The 1-0. Fastball in there, 2-seamer at the inside corner, 1-1 to Feely. Got Ryan Munson waiting on deck. 1-1, the pitch. Curve, a good one at the knees, called a strike. He's got that 2-seam fastball and that 12-6 curve, and so far he's finding the zone.
He definitely has a lot of movement he could play with.
What? Go ahead.
Just say a lot of good pitches in his arsenal with movement on to throw batters off.
1-2 the count to Feely, the pitch. He got him swinging. Got him on the breaking ball, tipped into the mitt, and the game is over. Eastern Mennonite gets their first conference win. They win 8-3 over the Generals. Eastern Mennonite 1-4 in the conference. The Generals are 0-5. We're going to take a quick break and close it out for you on this Friday afternoon, tailing into the evening when we come back. Back here at Lexington on this Friday, the 23rd of March. And this first game of 2 between the Generals and Royals ends up with Eastern Mennonite winning. These two teams will face each other on the 28th from Harrisonburg, Virginia. That game postponed, just like this one, from their original time because of snow. The Royals 8 runs on a total of 11 hits, no errors. The Generals 3 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. And John, it seemed like it was going well for the Generals for the first 5 innings or so, but starting in that 6th inning, it just all fell apart.
Yeah, no, apart from that 2-run home run that was off the shuffler, I mean, it really seemed to be a pitcher's duel all the way up until that top of the 6th, and that's really when Eastern Mennonite, as you said, slammed the door open and really just went off. I mean, in the top of the 6th, not only did they bat around, but they generated 5 runs in that inning, along with 5 hits and 2 left on base. So, I mean, that was a really game-changing inning for Eastern Mennonite. The Generals battled pretty well leading up to that 6th inning, of course. I mean, definitely tied up the score with a run generated in both the bottom of the 3rd and the bottom of the 4th inning to tie up the game. But again, once we hit that top of the 6th, that's when things really got out of hand.
The scoring started in the top of the 1st with a 2-run home run by Damon Frazier. The Generals scored a run in the 3rd on a sac fly by Bo Pacelli. Then they tied it up in the 4th on an RBI single by Roby Smalley. And then the top of the 6th, the bases were loaded with nobody out. 2-run single by Brett Lindsay. And then RBI single by Corey Willis. Sac fly RBI by Adam Marston. Then Jalen Lee had an RBI single. And all of a sudden, you're looking at a 7-2 game.
Yep.
And then in the 7th inning, Damon Frazier again, solo home run to make it 8-2. The Generals get a run in the bottom of the 8th on a bases-loaded walk from Bryce Burnett. Again, the final scoreboard, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and just 5 left on for the Royals. The Generals, 3 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. They left a total of 9. Want to say this broadcast of Generals Athletics has been brought to you in part by the Washington and Lee University Store. Celebrate your favorite Generals team with a JanSport t-shirt or with one of our many sports decals and hats. If you can think of it, we probably have it. The store is open 7 days a week and is owned and operated by Washington and Lee. All proceeds go back to the Washington and Lee community, helping to fund athletic, alumni, and other programs. Order online anytime at store.wou.edu and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for our online exclusive promotions. Go Generals! Washington and Lee fall to 7-12 on the season. Now they're on a 5-game losing streak. Eastern Mennonite snaps their 5-game losing streak. They improved to 10-10 at 500, 1-5 in the conference. The Generals are 0-5 in the ODAC. Next up for Eastern Mennonite, they'll be facing off against Emory and Henry at home in Harrisonburg in a doubleheader tomorrow at 12. The Generals don't have much to think about, though, about this game because they have a doubleheader at Lynchburg at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Not often do you have baseball games scheduled to play at 10 a.m. But that's going to do it here from Captain Dick Smith Field. Just want to say a big thank you to Andy McEnroe, our producer. Good job as always. Keep it up, Andy. We appreciate your hard work. Looking at the RBI tallies, 3 from Damon Frazier, 2 from Brett Lindsay, Corey Willis, Adam Marston, and Jalen Lee each had an RBI. For the Generals, 1 RBI by Jason Volpicelli, Roby Smalley, and Bryce Burnett. The winner goes to Tyler Campbell, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts in 117 pitches. The loss goes to Mason Shuffler, who goes 5 innings, 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Shuffler is 0-3 on the year. Tyler Campbell gets his first win this season. He's 1-2. That'll do it here on WLUR Access, All Access, pardon me, and First Team Broadcasting alongside John Harashinsky. I'm Bonds Tufa saying so long, everyone. We will see you next time.
They're probably going to cancel. Danny and them were supposed to have a doctor tomorrow. He said that was going to be free for something.
Sunday's not going to be any better. Well, your chances Sunday are going to be. Really? But isn't it going to be snowing?
No, all the weather's going to happen overnight. And it's going to be plus, I think up there where they are,
Oh.
they're supposed to get nearly as much as we are.
Okay, more sound.
I got a bit, I told Beth this afternoon, every time, whenever a storm's coming in, they send out a weather alert for the top. I got one today that said, you know, the ASCO region is sort of emergency. And I told Beth, I said, they have been dead on for every storm that's come through.
No, he keeps telling me and I keep saying I won't allow it. I'm just, I'm done.